Well, happy Tuesday from beautiful Melbourne High School. This is Bill Maharis, my new friend Eric Beckham. We're Press Box Overtime. Yes, we're at the football stadium, but guess what? For the first time in the history of Brevard County sports, we have varsity girls flag football as the Lady Bulldogs from Melbourne host the Lady Wildcats from West Shore. As you notice, I usually have Coach Cook with me. He's running a little bit behind, but he'll get here shortly. This is a good friend of my son's, Ethan. Now he's a good friend of ours. Just came over from overseas where he was on the base with Ethan. Proud Master Sergeant in the United States Air Force. Again, Eric Beckham. Eric, welcome to the Press Box.
Hey, thanks for having me, Bill. I appreciate it.
So you getting settled in as far as being in the Vieira area?
Yeah, it's been real nice so far. The weather is what I love the most, honestly.
Yeah,
a big difference from where I was before. But you and your family, you guys have been really welcoming to me, and I really appreciate it. Making my trip here so far is just great.
Well, good. You're kind of a connection with our son, and I know this is a public broadcast, but on a private note, I want to give a shout out. I believe my son Ethan, even though he's a few hours ahead, is watching us live before he goes to work. I want to thank you for a couple of new shirts he got me for Christmas.
Yeah.
Let's talk about flag football. You played football in high school.
I did.
Actually wore the same number as Ethan did, number 64.
That's right.
And when we were talking before we got on the air, you said in the Air Force and intramurals, you actually had flag football. Mm-hmm. Was it more of a co-ed, or was it boys teams and girls teams? How did that work?
So that's a little question. So a lot of the teams that we had were kind of intermingled.
Okay.
The majority of the teams were just guys, but we had no issue at all with having co-ed teams where we just worked together with the girls as well. So it was definitely a lot of fun to play with them.
Well, and it's one of those sports. Now we have pickleball. It's one of those sports that all ages can play, all athletic abilities. We're starting a youth league, I believe, up in the Cocoa Rockledge area. I saw that my good friend Alex Goins, they had a team from Oviedo come over and play the girls. So, it reminds me of lacrosse about 13, 14 years ago when our daughter Devin played, when it first started, and it's that feel now. And I'm just so happy, as most of y'all who know me as a retired county athletic director from a few years ago, to see this take fruition, to see Melbourne and West Shore start a couple teams. I'll see that some will follow, but it's going to be exciting to watch. When you played, when you played in the Air Force and the intramurals, I guess 90% of it is passing. You're allowed to run, but what is the offensive mindset when you played flag football?
So that's a real question. The offensive mindset, obviously, is to just be able to score. We got a lot of shifty guys up there, and it's a lot of fun, honestly, because you don't have many guys that they're tackling doing anything like that.
Right.
So we could pass, we could run just as well,
right.
But we're not doing any of the traditional football plays, like running up the gutter or anything like that.
We're
just trying to find the ways to be shifty, get around those guys, just avoiding flags, but still really, really competitive, still a lot of fun.
Sure.
And gave guys a lot of opportunity to play if they, didn't have all the athleticism and didn't want to get beat down from tackling and everything like that.
Right.
Made it real fun.
And that's what I said earlier. I think this is a great sport because all levels, and I know when lacrosse started, we had some girls that came from the soccer teams and the basketball teams, but we also had girls that had never played a sport before. Mm-hmm. And, once I follow these teams a little bit more, I talked to Coach Thompson from here at Melbourne High School. She's got some basketball players, I believe some soccer players. She's also got some track players, and I wanted to mention that because, again, as the past county athletic director from a few years ago, and I talked to Kevin Robinson, who's the current county athletic director, there's always been that feel, and it was the same thing when lacrosse came across. Well, you know what? We're going to lose girls from other sports. And Melbourne is the epitome of two coaches working together. Right. Flag football's got a couple girls that play track or run track. They run long distance, I believe, when I spoke to her the other day on the phone. And they practice in the morning, so then after school. So we can make it work.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk a little bit more. We're going to have JV games starting at 5:30, varsity to follow, a little bit more about the opportunities. And if you watch the Super Bowl this year, how many commercials did we see with the NFL pushing flag football? I'm like, what are they talking about? And they're behind all of this. So, you can be multi-sport, even in the same season. And I'm glad to see that they're giving those opportunities, to them as far as that goes. So I think, remind me, and again, I was talking to the athletic director, Chad Raymond here earlier, trying to find the rules. if you're watching the broadcast, and I'll mention this again later, and talking with Jeremy Hernandez, who is the administrator of athletics that covers flag football. He was nice enough to spend about 30 minutes with me, as was Kevin Robinson, the county AD, Coach Thompson. So a lot of people. I reached out to Steve Muzzy, who's in charge of the Mid-Coast Officials Association. A lot of help as far as just giving me some background information. But I do believe in defense, and remind me how you all did. I think I think there's going to be 2 markers on the field.
Yes.
Right? One for the offensive line, and then like 7 yards from is that?
Yeah,
how did that work?
It's about the same. So yeah, you have your traditional offensive line, your line of scrimmage.
Okay.
But the defense isn't allowed to line right up on that. So
right.
they have to be back a few feet. I'm not sure of the exact distance, but they can't go over that before the ball is snapped.
And I think, again, trying to follow up on the rules, just so you know, the rules that the FHSAA uses, because I was trying to find them, and Jeremy was nice enough to email me last night about 11 o'clock. It's the NIRSA, which is the National Intramural and Recreational Sports Association. So according to that, if I wrote down my notes right, I think they got to line up about 7 yards back.
Okay.
But if I understand it correctly, once they line up there, I'm thinking about the old days when we used to play back behind the elementary school. We used to count to 3.
Yeah.
Once that ball's high, they can go.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
you should be able to go. And what's struggling about that, I know for the defense, at least when I used to play,
Right.
you just want to get there as quickly as possible and get as close to the ball, as close
Right.
to the center as you can. But you can't do that with flag football.
Right.
It makes it a really bit more challenging.
Right.
You know, you have to kind of wiggle your way through that offensive line to get to that quarterback, or if there is a running back coming through the
Right,
line. So,
right. Yeah. I do see hats off to your friend, my son, Ethan Maharis.
Buzz,
I'm glad he got to watch a little bit of us before he goes to work. So let me, a couple of things I want to talk about. We got probably kick off in about 3 minutes. And I'm going to be honest with you, some of this stuff is going to be new to us. Again, talking to the athletic director, we appreciate Coach Raymond as well as Principal Chad Kirk letting us come here and do this, what I call an historic game, because it is the first ever varsity flag football game in Brevard County. Just so you know, any new sport, FHSAA, the first year you're not eligible for the playoffs or state series. So just like when I was talking to Coach Thompson yesterday, they can wax everybody and be 9-0, doesn't matter. The first year you have to sit out. So next year, Melbourne and West Shore will probably be placed in a district because most of the surrounding counties, Orange County, where Orlando, any River County, they've all got teams, so they'll probably be placed in a district. And then if we get some new teams next year, which I hope we will, I hope some people will watch today's broadcast, or after the game I'll have it posted on YouTube, so that way they can watch whatever you want to. You can download it if you want to. But next year, whenever new teams come, you'll have to sit out a year as well. But in talking with Jeremy Hernandez at the FHSAA, believe it or not, we've got 442 teams in the state of Florida.
Oh, wow.
They're just not in Brevard yet. And most of those teams are in the metro area, like Tampa, Orlando, that type of thing. So I'm excited that Brevard is, even though we're the 10th largest county in the state, is that outside the metro areas, we've actually started to add it. And again, we're going to talk a little bit later about the NCAA colleges. Believe it or not, there's actually NAIA and junior colleges in the state of Florida that already have varsity flag football. So it's great that this is another opportunity for these young ladies. I'm going to flip the camera because we're getting ready. It looks like they're having a last minute huddle. It's about 5:29. We certainly don't want to miss the action. And I'm going to see if we can't zoom in a little bit here. There we go. Let's see. Let's see where they go. I think that's pretty good right there. So as we watch the two teams huddle, give you a little bit of background before we have, and actually, if we all read the rules correctly, and we do want to, I want to thank Steve Muzzy. He did reach out to me. They are covering the flag football. They actually only cover these two schools, and right now you can actually see the referee. And they did the same thing when lacrosse first started, kind of working with the coaches, working with the teams, going over the rules, etc. But Brevard County is really blessed that we're probably one of the few counties in the state that deals with one officials organization, and that's the MCOA, been around since I think the 60s, Mid-Coast Officials. So most of these guys probably came from football. They do have to get recertified because, again, the rules are different. But they do cover R2, And they said one team in Indian River, county, which I do believe is Sebastian River. So again, we're just blessed that we've got an officials association that's on top of everything. They do every single sport that we do have here in the county. So let's see, we got Melbourne over here in the dark. We've got West Shore across the way in the light uniforms. This is West Shore's first game. Melbourne did have their first game late last week. They lost to Harmony. And again, same thing when lacrosse first came here to Brevard County. We're going to play teams that have been around for a few years, and we're just, it's a learning process. But I'm sure these other coaches,
ladies and gentlemen, students,
the same thing with lacrosse, is they're here to help it grow.
Welcome to the inaugural season of the Lady Bulldogs flag football team.
So we do have an announcer tonight, which is great. We got
We could not have made this dream a reality without the
30 or 40 people in the stands.
Heartfelt thank you to our principal, Dr.
Get ready to do the national anthem, I'm sure, in a few minutes. So we
to our dedicated athletic director, Chad Raymond.
When I was looking at the rosters the other day, believe it or not, Melbourne has 16 players, and the Wildcats from West Shore actually have their own JV squad with 17 players and varsity squad with 18. So they've got 35 players that have come out for flag football. So this is a JV game. We have 4 12-minute quarters, or 10 minutes it looks like over there. So we're going to look at the roster numbers, and hopefully we get these names right. And right now, first time in the history of Brevard County sports, girls, flag football, live from Melbourne High School, as the Bulldogs host the Wildcats of West Shore. First pass is incomplete. That was Elena Neal for Melbourne with that first pass play.
Looks like it was almost intercepted there.
Yeah, I see there was 2 there at the same time. Yeah, exactly. But you know what? That probably felt good to get that first pass out of the way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You get the nerves running through you absolutely for the first game, so it's at least good to get it out of the way.
I mean, first time they played this sport in front of the crowd. So it's second down. Back to passes deal. This pass is complete to number 11.
Should be the first down.
Pass is coming, right? I think so. Let's see if we call that a first down.
First down.
Yeah, that was a first down, so that's nice. So she got the jitters out on the first pass,
Yep.
and first down on the second pass.
First down already, so trucking along here.
As if you see the field, you can see the line markers that are inside. The field is 80 yards long and I believe 30 yards wide. So the quote-unquote 50-yard line is actually the 40-yard line. All right, another pass right up there. Oh, the pass was good. 6 had it right there in her hands. Good try. That was Ainsley Friday. That was the receiver that the pass was intended for.
You see that distance we were also talking about a little bit there in between the offense and defense, that little buffer
Oh, yeah,
zone.
right. Yep. So that looks like about 3 yards maybe.
Yeah.
Penalty.
Now, I tell you what I find interesting, and again, I don't see anybody rushing. You would think maybe one might rush.
Yeah, I haven't really seen it either.
Because you got to figure, if you've got the center there, and you've got the quarterback, that's 2 extra people that you really don't need covering. But we'll see. So they got 1, 2, 3, yes, so they got 7 on 7. I don't believe the center is eligible. Let me see what she does after she fights. No, she is eligible. Okay, so everybody's eligible. Okay, got a little running play going. Zipping back and forth. Oh, flags came off. Okay. And again, in talking with Coach Thompson at Melbourne, she got some soccer players, basketball players, a couple girls from track. So again, a good mesh, and there's probably even some girls out there, that haven't played a sport before, and this gives them that opportunity to do so.
Third down. You get 2 downs to get squad.
It's almost like Canadian rules, right? Is it 3 downs?
You
What did you do before? Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, she hits on the keeper. Hold that ball. Hold that ball. Oh, she's
Fourth down.
been watching too much Mahomes, they're holding that ball out there.
Trying to get that first.
Across the line.
Now I think
I like that.
all that matters here in this case is the placement of the ball. Like even if the runner itself, their flag gets pulled behind the line, if the ball's over it,
Right.
they get there first regardless.
Well, somebody coached her well because
Oh,
she
yeah.
had that ball out there. I saw her. I'm like, wait, is that Patrick out there running? So that was good for her. And I'm trying to see.
Looks like we're
I'm seeing a line marker here or a down marker out here.
Yeah, but I think I read where they can do anywhere from 2 to 4 referees. So it looks like we have 2. And then I think at least on the FHSAA website, they do recommend having 4 when they get to the state series. So I'm looking at where he dropped that second pod or puck, whatever.
Mhm.
It's not that far away. It's like a yard, maybe 2 yards. So I don't know why you just, there we go.
Oh,
Get somebody
got a
in.
rush.
Oh, they got a
Okay.
little punt going. All right, nice. All right.
It's dead.
So it's dead when she touches it. Okay.
So the new line of scrimmage is just going to be
We have a
just where the
penalty.
ball dropped.
We have
Okay.
a penalty.
They have a penalty.
There's like a penalty on West Shore.
Coach Cook. Right, we got Coach Cook here in the booth to help us out. I am going to start playing him while we watch it. So again, Melbourne High's no score. We've got 6:34 left to play in the first quarter. 4 10-minute quarters here for JV. And I believe that is a first down, I'm thinking, after the penalty. But it'd be interesting to see if West Shore rushes. We haven't seen them rush too much, which kind of surprised. Oh, there we go. Okay, keeper. She got that ball out there just like we were talking about. She got the Patrick Mahomes move. But like you said, Eric, because it's where the ball is when the flag is pulled, so somebody coached her up to let her know to put that flag, put that ball out there. All right, we're going to get some audio stuff working here for Coach Cook. Keep everybody coach in line on the range today. On the golf course.
Yeah, it was a good game. A little dreary weather, but
Yeah, a little bit, but you know what? Just in time for the press box, it kind of opened up a little bit. All right, so over on downs, it is first down. This is the first time that the Wildcats have had the ball, so we'll see what they can do. First down at the 38. Oh, look at that. Got a little reverse going. 25 is wide open. I don't think anybody saw her over there. The flag, that's about a 20-yard run. And I believe that was number 25. There we go. For JV, that was Destiny Harding. So that's a nice way for a West Shore to start out on offense. That was 38, let's see, 5, 10, about a 15-yard run. Nice little reversal there.
that was a good game.
Yeah, that was a nice game. That was, and again, like we were talking, getting the jitters out, just like, first time you've ever played, you're playing in front of a crowd. So, it's, I'm sure these young ladies are happy to finally hear the whistle blow and get this game started.
Yeah, got me excited for them.
All right, first down again. They got a little razzle-dazzle. Got Oklahoma Center. They're coming around the right side. Flag is pulled. That is number 15. If I'm pronouncing it right, Chasia Molina. And I probably messed that up, but that was number 15. Yeah. And one thing I want to point out, and Doug, you and I have talked about this many a times, for those that aren't aware, West Shore is a junior, senior high school, so they go 7th grade to 12th grade. So they've got 7th and 8th graders right now in the JV squad. They've got 5 7th graders and 4 8th graders that are getting some great experience.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. Sure, I remember we did Cocoa Beach baseball game.
Yeah, right.
And they were playing satellite, and they were playing 7th and 8th
Yeah,
graders.
exactly.
These kids were very competitive.
So when you look at the future, as far as just looking at the JV squad for the Wildcats, they got 17 players on JV because they have a separate JV varsity squad. Out of those 17, 9 are 7th and 8th grade. So they've got a bright future if they stay with the sport. Quarterback keeper, she's looking to go long. Somebody's wide open. Oh, the pass was intended for number 24, Isabella, if I'm pronouncing it right, Coach.
Well, I know flag football is really big in North Florida.
Yeah.
Bradford High School, like I know the coach up there, they actually coaches flag. He used to be a quarterback at
Okay.
Maryland High School.
Oh, no
John
kidding.
Staples.
Oh, sure.
I coached him up in Maryland, but it's really huge up there.
Well, most of the metro areas, the Jacksonville, the Orlando, Tampa, South Florida, it's big. Even though we're the 10th largest, all right? Another pass. Oh, almost intercepted. That was number 10 for Mel High. Jada Smith, almost with the interception. I tell you what I like right now, Coach, is even though it's the first time the Wildcats have had the ball and Melbourne's had it once, they're pulling out all the plugs. I mean, they've got the razzle dazzle, they've got the deep pass. We've seen almost and so they didn't come out here just to try it. They're out here to play.
Yeah, they're mixing it up, and I tell you what, you got a lot of field up there. You only got 7 players on each side,
Right.
Compared to running football or
A little tall like that. I'm gonna guess is probably incomplete pass. It was a forward.
So they've got a lot of room to run, and also pass the ball and a lot more space. They get out in space,
Right.
Fast runner to be.
That sounds like when your daughter Haley and my daughter Devin played soccer, right? They said get out in space. And just as a reminder, in case you just joined us, we got about 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter, 0-0. The Bulldogs of Melbourne have already had the ball one time, turned it over on downs, had a couple nice plays, a couple completed passes, nice runs. And this is the first time that the Wildcats have had it. Now it's turned over on downs, if I'm looking at it correctly. Yep, so it's back to Melbourne. So this is the second time they've been on offense. Looks like they got somebody new at quarterback. That's number 10. Oh, almost.
So does every school in Brevard County have one?
No, that's a good question. Let me just see. Who was that? Melbourne JV 10. That's Jada Smith and quarterback. So that's a great question, Doug. So right now, Melbourne and West Shore are the only 2 schools that have it. And as you know, being a coach in Brevard County and having 5 kids that play, first year they're not eligible for the state series. When I was talking to both coaches, I believe actually, I think West Shore has like 4 home games and 5 away. I think it's a little bit less for Melbourne because again, being a new team, you're not going to have a lot of teams that are going to travel over here to play. But that will change. Oh, look at there on the keeper, number 10, right up the middle, still going. That was 32 on the. I don't know, Eric. I know you're not plugged in, but remind me, is it a tackle? What do you when you pull that flag? I don't know what the term is.
That's just we just call it a pull.
A pull.
I guess,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll go with a pull.
Yeah.
We don't want to mix our viewers up and call it a tackle. But that was a nice little run.
Yeah,
Let me
nice pull,
see.
easy
That
save, yeah.
was 25. That was Destiny Harding who pulled the flag. All right, so
Still went over on downs.
yeah, back up. Look at that. And we were talking about it before, and I see all the girls are going to do that. Hold the ball out so that way when they get their flags pulled, wherever the ball is. But here's my question. I'm going to tell my defense, grab that ball. If they're going to hold that ball out there to, get the extra yard, I'm going to tell the defense, don't go for her flag. Go for that ball. I'm just saying, I don't know how long that's going to
Can you
last.
do that? Is that part of the
I guess you could take the ball. That's what I was talking to Coach Raymond here earlier. I still got to get a little bit up to speed on some of these rules. All right, a little direct snap. Number 8, little juke. There we go. Still going, still going. And that is number 8. That is Cadence Skeen, a 9th grader.
As far as blocking is, what do you do? Just get in their way?
Yeah, I think almost like, what do you call, running interference.
Yeah.
I don't think there's too many. And that's the end of the first quarter. It's knotted up at 0. But again, Doug, I like what I've seen. I mean, the first time they've ever played, now Melbourne has had a game. They played against Harmony last week. This is the first time West Shore's had a game. A couple jitters at the beginning, but I got to give hats off to the 2 coaches. They got some little plays that they're working there, and it's exciting to see that the first time they've actually, especially West Shore, played against another team, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, appear to be very well organized and run plays accurately.
We've seen a couple runs. I don't know. Some I think were designed. Some I think that they were pulling them down. Just to give you a little bit of background, we got a little break here between the first and second quarter. Talking about Melbourne, they did have their first game last week, lost to Harmony, but again, like we were talking earlier, I'm sure it was good just to get that first game out of the way. They've got 9 more games left. They've got a home game coming up, then 6 away and 2 at home. So, and we did the same thing when I coached lacrosse over at Satellite. That first year, you're going to travel,
Right.
you know, and then once you kind of get up to speed and the other teams, oh, you know what? Let's go over there and play Satellite. And I'm sure that's what's going to happen with these two. For Mel High, we'll talk about this a little bit later. Next game, they actually play tomorrow at St. Cloud, and then Friday at West Shore. So they'll play West Shore again, and that will be West Shore's first game. Their last 2 games are home, April 3rd and April 8th. And again, looking at the players that they gave me for varsity, 16 on varsity, 2 are 9th grade, a 10th grade, and 6 11th graders. So again, they've got the youth, and they've got 6 11th graders that will be back as far as senior leadership. So it's good to see, and the same thing for West Shore, that there's a good mix of age groups.
Well, you got a lot to build on there. With
Right.
The younger players.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this pans out.
Again, if you just joined us, you'll notice the football is sitting on a marker, and that's the line of scrimmage that most of us know from regular football. It looks like it's about a yard away, and that other marker is where the defense lines up, which really isn't that far away. Now you can see they got a rusher going. So, so like you said, it wasn't really a block, but she kind of stood in her way.
It's kind of interference. Yeah.
But I'm surprised we haven't seen more rushes. And again, feeling everything out, but when that, and you and I were talking about this, Eric, that 1 yard away, that's not that far away.
It's not,
You
no.
know, I'm thinking if it's only 1 yard away, I'm getting my fastest person up there and I'm going in. So let's see. So nobody rushing this time. Plenty of time. Look at there, wide open, right down the middle.
Nice pass.
And that was complete to number 6, Gracie Ostrander. And again, playing at quarterback is Jada Smith. Nice little pass. That was probably 10, 20 some yards. That was a nice completion.
Yeah, nice spot on the ball. So.
I want to try to watch the defense a little bit more just to kind of see, I'm pretty sure they're man to man. I doubt if they're going to do any kind of zone stuff, even if they do that at this level. All right, now they got 2 rushes. Very good. Oh, intercepted. How about that? And the flag is taken, and that is number 14, and that is Mia Pollen with the first turnover, actually in the history of a Varsity Flag Football. But you coach football.
Oh, yeah.
Big difference in those 2 plays. First play, no rush, 20-yard pass. Second play, 2 rush, interception. So,
Put the pressure on the quarterback.
I really think we're going to start seeing that from both sides. That, listen, I think me and you could maybe throw a completion because nobody's coming at us.
Maybe too old for that.
I
But,
don't know.
When you pass the ball, 3 things happen.
Right.
2 of them are bad.
Super bad. All right, got a little razzle dazzle. Look at there, a little motion going on. Number 15, and pulled the flag. That was for the Wildcats, Miss Molita. And again, she's just an 8th grader. So she's got 4 more years ahead of her. Like I say, next year, both these teams will be eligible for the FHSAA playoff state series. And in any sport, any first team, no matter how good you do, you're not eligible. So again, both teams have some good players to build on. Got the pass going. Oh, here we go. Another turnover. Melbourne High School. She saw daylight. If it was not for number 38, Eliza Stram, and that's Jada Smith, she was taking it to the house. I'm sure these young ladies would like to be the first one to score.
Yeah.
That would, it's, as you and I know, you had 5 children that played at the collegiate level. Records are made to be broken. Only can be one first.
That's true.
And whichever one of these scores first, that's going to be kind of a cool thing. So,
it's gonna be
we've had completed passes, we've had razzle dazzle, we've had misdirection, we've had 2 turnovers. Again, I think once these young ladies got that first series out of the way, they're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's going to grow. It's going to grow in popularity.
Wide open. Oh! Pass was intended. You find it here, Melbourne, number 9. Might have been Ava Pravada. You know this better than I do. You played more sports than I did. Sometimes before you catch the ball, you're already turning and getting ready to score. I think she was so wide open, she might have kind of thought, okay, wait a second.
You got to whip that ball into your hands
Yeah.
and then run.
Right. See what they come back. Jada Smith for the pass. That was actually a nice play by, look up here, number 9, Ava Pravada, because that ball could have been intercepted. So again, nice defense by the offense. But tell you, Jada Smith, the quarterback, she's showing us a pretty good arm today.
Yeah, I think our Gators could have used it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Maybe not last year. We had
But,
that
yeah.
way. The year before, though.
Beginning of the year.
I think the year. Oh, another boy. I tell you what, that is number 14 again, and that is Mia Powell, and I think she's the one that got the first interception. So they might have to start figuring out who to throw away from. Again, from Melbourne, we have Coach Amira Thompson. I'll give you a little bit of background on her while we have a timeout. We got, again, 6 minutes to go in the second quarter, 0-0. We'll wait till halftime. But interesting, she was nice enough to talk to me on the phone yesterday. Actually played in high school in South Florida, flag football, and played intramurals at UCF. And we'll talk a little bit more about both coaches. All right, Smith back to pass. Let's see. Oh, man. All right, first down, over on downs. Clock's going. So again, I got to catch up on the rules, but one thing, as I'm watching the offense, is it's almost like, they're going to a set spot.
Yeah,
And they're throwing it to them versus maybe on the, and I'm sure that's going to open up some.
Well, I don't see any pattern. I just see it
Right.
running straight down the field.
Right.
I see it, running like a 5-yard out or
Right.
crossing pattern or
Right.
post.
Oh, direct snap, the ball's dead. Yep. That is 25. Destiny Harding, just a 9th grader, playing quarterback. And you're right, Doug, I agree with you. Right now, it's just kind of getting the passes out of the way, hit the open person. I imagine by the end of the season, we're going to see, hitting them in motion, throwing it.
Yeah.
But first, I guess, got to throw the ball to them. But I like what I see. Oh, look at her, direct snap. Okay, nobody's pulled her flag yet. I think she's got some open. This could be the first touchdown in the history of Brevard County sports. Touchdown, West Shore, number 15. And again, I hope I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. Chamsia Molida at the 4:51 mark of the second quarter. She scores the first touchdown in the history of Brevard County flag football.
Yeah, she got in the secondary.
That was it. Yeah, no, it was. She got past that. Now this is going to be interesting because they can go for 1 or for 2 or for 3. So, all right. So they're going to go for 1, and if I read the rules right, I think they can run or pass. If they go for 2 or 3, and we'll talk about that in a minute, it can only be a pass play. All right, so they got a pass, nobody there. That was a pass attempt by number 38, Eliza Schramm. So again, at the 4:07 mark, West Shore leads 6-0 as young lady number 15, Miss Molida, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, scored the first ever touchdown. And one thing I noticed, and I think probably in the interview was at the University of Florida when I should have been studying. It looks easy to pull those flags, but sometimes when they're spinning and those flags are blowing, because she ran through about 3 or 4, it's not that easy to grab those.
And they have, looks like they have 3 flags.
Yeah, yep, one in the back, right.
It should make it easier, but it is.
It's not.
easy
You
to
think
grab
it is,
those
but
flags.
they're moving, the flags are blowing, and like you said, once she got open space. All right, Miss Smith back on the, pass was intended for Emma Gomez, a 10th grader here at Melbourne High School.
Yeah, playing flag football and PE classes.
Right,
you know,
right,
growing up,
right.
it's always, I mean, if you have a fast player there, you got to spin and twist. And
Right.
it was difficult to get that flag.
Right, yeah, you would think it's not, but it is. And you're right, Doug. Once she got past those first 2 or 3, she had some open space. All right, what? Oh, no, another interception, pulled her flag. Is that 14 again?
It is. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
14. That is Mia Powlin, 2 interceptions on the day. And she dropped one, if I remember, Eric. I think she had one in her hands earlier.
Yes,
so
she did.
I'm thinking I'm gonna tell Miss Smith, don't throw the 14's way.
Yeah, she is hungry.
She is, man.
Yeah, don't throw it that way.
We've had 3 turnovers today. West Shore's gotten 2 interceptions, and Melbourne's gotten 1. Okay, a little fake razzle dazzle. She's on the keeper. Oh, she got past her. Oh, nice pull. That's number 6 on defense, Gracie Ostrander. She's a junior. And again, that was, I believe, 25. And that's Destiny Harding. We've called her name a few times. Nice little run there. You know, I like what the defensive player did for Mel High. She just kind of stood there and just let the runner come to her. And it looked like it made it a little bit easier for her to take that flag off. Let's see. Oh, her flag fell down way back there. Yep, so that play is dead.
Now, those flags designed for the whole thing to come off like that?
You know what? I don't know if they're Velcro, but I think
so.
you know, probably back in the day when Eric played, he probably had it tied around his shoe and, you know, had that Gorilla Glue on it.
Yeah.
We're trying
Nobody
to get
get
away
that
from
off,
it.
yeah.
You know, those Air Force guys.
Yeah.
We're trying to
Whatever way we can do to win. You know?
we're trying to get away from that. So I think if you grab anything, I think it's going to
The
drop.
whole thing comes off.
All right, so they are at the 5-yard line. We got to remember the 10-yard in. So we dropped to what? Oh, almost. Nice pass. That's 38. That's Elijah Schramm. She got a good little arm on her, just like Smith does for Melbourne. 2 girls, young ladies, throwing the ball pretty good. And again, like we mentioned earlier, Doug, I think once they get a few games under their belt, we might see some movement. You know, like you and I go long,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
versus to a spot. But right now, they're doing a great job getting the kinks out. And again, these young ladies on both teams came to play today. All right, next snap, a little. Oh,
Yeah, it's total different strategy than tackle
Right,
football.
right.
Oh, it's turnover.
104 left in the first half. Again, you coach tackle football, like you said, a lot different than this. I'm thinking one of my practices, we're just kind of like when lacrosse first started. We're just throwing the ball back and forth. Just practice catching. Because some of those passes have been right on the money.
Right.
Just got to work a little bit on bringing it in, how to use your hands, how to use your body to catch
Well,
that
you know,
ball.
it's a new sport to them,
Right,
so they're
right.
going to have to learn the basic fundamentals, which they will. I mean, it's going to be an exciting time.
Jada Smith, back to pass complete. Oh, number 6. That is Ainsley Friday, I believe. No, Gracie Ostrander, number 6, my bad. Timeout, Melbourne with 52 seconds left. Again, if you just joined us, Wildcats scored first. They lead by 6 with 52 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, this place is familiar. We used to play games against Tom McIntyre,
Oh, yeah.
Joey Wiles.
Yep.
All those guys. Joey, of course, went to Jacksonville. Tom McIntyre got out and went into administration. He was area superintendent.
One of the best.
So, yeah, we had some good battles here
Well,
back in the day.
we'll go further. Our girls played soccer here, played lacrosse out there. So you're right.
Both my sons played
Yeah.
baseball.
Yeah, right across the way there. So, and I was telling Eric, and I guess if you just joined us, we got a young man that's helping us out tonight, Eric Beckham, a proud Master Sergeant in the United States Air Force that just was overseas with my son and just came over to Patrick Air Force Base, sunny Florida. So we're glad to have him up here helping us today.
I think you got an adopted son.
Well, you know, yeah.
Gotta come eat
Yeah.
some good
Yeah.
home cooked
I-
meals.
I-
when you're
They've already done it.
He's had that
It's
already.
been great.
Well,
He's a good cook.
Up in the air. Oh. Pass was intended, it looked like, for number 9. Ava Pravada.
Well, hopefully he plays golf so we can get some
Oh, he's
golf.
waiting for his clubs,
Oh,
and
they're on the way. They're on the way.
getting his Harley tomorrow, and I
Harley?
just got my Suzuki
Cool.
service, so I think I see some rides coming up.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, one thing that, and I was telling him, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I think Melbourne, here we go, pass complete, this time is, dropped. Or did she catch it and pull a flag? No, she dropped it.
Yeah, she dropped it.
Right, Melbourne, Titusville, and Cocoa, I think were the original 3 high schools, I believe, in the county. Melbourne, I think, Cocoa.
Melbourne, Titusville, Cocoa.
Yeah,
Yeah, Monroe High School too. Which
Okay,
is,
right.
All black school. in
Right,
Cocoa.
yeah.
That was one of the first.
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
exactly right. All right, so now let's see what we got. We got 42 seconds left. Trying to see. Look, got a little punt going. All right, there you go. Bounce up. All right, yeah, you gotta go the other way. Here she goes. Go. Oh, open space. Look at that. Nobody's grabbed that flag. Again, we were talking about that earlier. It's not that easy to grab that flag. That's number 13, Mia Rakus, and she is just a 7th grader. So nice little run by a young lady that's got 5 more years ahead of her if she stays here. And again, both teams, and we'll go over that at halftime, are loaded with a good mix of juniors, some seniors, and a lot of underclassmen. So as they move into the state series next year, right past is top. You know, they've had that a couple times. She's got to bring that in.
That's the right idea.
Yeah, right, yeah, I do too,
Flare
right.
pass.
And again,
flats.
just like when you coach, I don't know if there's somebody in defense that's supposed to be watching the person in the back, because she's been open a couple times. All right, here we go again. Oh, she's got it again. Oh, she missed. Look at that. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, she scored. Yeah.
It's the same girl.
Yeah, same thing. Miss Molita. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And that's her 2nd score. And again, just like we talked about, Doug, it's hard to grab that flag. You know, I mean, she went through a couple with it blowing and her moving. It's not as easy as you think. And she has scored her 2nd touchdown of the day. And with 20 seconds left in the first half, West Shore leads by 12.
I'm sure she's a track athlete as well.
You know what? If not, Coach is going to be hearing about it tomorrow.
I went to the track meetings getting our running backs.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, exactly. All right, so they're going to go for an extra point. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit about halftime. They've got 3 options. Right now they're going for a 1-point conversion. And she's going to run it right up the middle. I believe she scored. Yep. And that was 25. That was Destiny Harding. Again, we've called her name. So at 19 seconds left, it is now 13-point lead for Wildcats. So again, talking to Coach Raymond earlier, just to bring people up to stuff as we learn the rules too. So point after, they can go for 1 point from the 3-yard line, and they can either run or pass. They can go 2 points from the 10, right? And 3 points from the 14. Take one away.
20.
Oh, it is 20. Okay, it was 20. Okay. Wow. If you can score from the 20, you should get 4 points, I think.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And again, if I read that correctly, I believe those last 2, the 2-point and 3-point, have to be pass plays. So they've got, which I like that. So if it's late in the game and you're down by 3, you got an opportunity.
Kind of a different strategy, right?
Jada Smith back to pass. Oh, no. Oh, that's 14 again. Don't throw to 14.
Just stay away from her.
Oh my gosh. I saw AD at West Shore, Tony Riopel here. I got to tell him, hey, I think 14's mom's calling. I think she has to go home and do her homework. That young lady is all over that ball. And what did I say she was? What?
Yeah, you got to keep it away from her. That's for sure.
7th grader. Wow. Oh, nice little run play. Get it. There she is.
There's your girl.
There she is, number 14. Mia Pollen.
Well, we talked about it before, but you remember when they started lacrosse, like
Right.
Both our daughters played
Right.
lacrosse,
Right.
and gives girls another opportunity to play a sport. Now, some of these girls may not play other sports.
Exactly.
Soccer,
Exactly.
But it does give girls an opportunity to expand.
Right,
And play
yeah.
and participate in an athletic event. I think that's good.
And we saw that when our daughters played lacrosse. We had girls like your daughter, mine, that played other sports, volleyball, soccer. And there were quite a few girls that played lacrosse that did not play any other sport. And that was their opportunity. They knew they weren't going to play in college, but they got that varsity letter. And that was kind of cool, an opportunity that otherwise they would not have played a sport. And I'm like you, Doug. I think there's probably some young ladies out here that this is probably their first sport. And it's kind of cool to give them that opportunity to be on a team, earn a varsity letter. So that's exciting, not just to have other students come from other teams, but opportunity for new kids to play sport.
And, and learn the discipline and everything else that goes with sports, teamwork and
Right.
everything else.
Right.
Just a great opportunity for the girl. I'm excited about it.
Oh yeah, me too. All right, we got quarterback Smith back there with the last play of the first half, probably. Oh, number 9 again. Got 3 seconds left. That's probably one of those plays they're going to start talking about. Don't stop, because right now it looks like I would call them button hook. You do a little J, you stop. But number 9 right there for Mel High. I think if she would have kept going, Ava Pravada, she would have been open. But again, that maybe not in the playbook yet.
Yeah. It's going to take
But
a
that
while
was a
to
good-
get all the timing down.
Oh sure.
I do like the quarterback.
I'm impressed with both quarterbacks. I mean, here's Jada Smith again. Yeah, there you go. Okay, right. That's all right. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Look at there. Jada Smith is still going. She might get a touchdown on the last play of the first half. She's still going. Keep going.
Oh,
no.
my
The
goodness.
2-yard line. Oh, poor little. What a play. Oh, bless her heart. Oh my gosh. Let me see. What did she ran? Had to be 55 yards. I would have ran out of gas about the 30-yard line, but bless, what a play. We talk about exciting way to end the half. Bless her heart. She was at the 2-yard line.
Interesting.
Come on in here, Todd. 2-yard line and could just not pull it through. Jeez. I'm going to take this real quick.
I'm learning as I go, so this is
This is good. Oh, is it on the inside? Here we go. Yeah. Better talk to Tim. All right, so at the half, we got about 4 minutes left. West Shore leads by 13. 2 touchdowns by the same individual. You find her name. That is Shamsia Molina, 8th grader. And I think, let me see here. I'm going to unhook Mr. Cook real quick.
What model Harley you
I have
Good evening, everybody. I'd
a
like to go ahead and thank our
All right, so I'm happy. We got about 4 minutes left. I have Tony Riopel up here, the athletic director of West Shore, who was probably one of the biggest movers to get the flag football added. So I'm going to turn this camera around real quick.
I want to get one.
Hello, young fella. Good to see you, brother. Good. Very good. So put that on somewhere up there, coming over here. So again, this West Shore Athletic Director, Tony Riopel, a good friend of mine. Listen, you guys looking pretty good out there today. I mean, best kept secrets. Have you had any intramurals or anything the past couple of years? Or is this pretty much what one?
We just got it going. I mean, back from your day when you
Right.
were, district AD and everything.
Sure.
A lot of schools wanted it.
Yeah, right.
And I hear next year we're going to get 4 or 5 more schools added, plus Holy Trinity. So
Yeah.
we should have 7 or 8 next
Wow,
year.
that's great. So, you and I talked a little bit via email. I talked to Kevin Robinson, the county athletic director. So, and he mentioned, you were one of the biggest proponents. So, a couple months ago, last year, discussions, coach come up. What just really said, hey, now's the time?
You remember Jeff McLean, right? Always pushing for this.
Right.
Barrett Island AD a long time.
Right.
All coach and all. And, when he retired, I said, look, we need to keep pushing for this.
Right.
And once the district added common cheer,
Yeah.
then, in our AD meetings, we just started saying, well, what about flag football? I'd also like to get beach volleyball or just regular volleyball
Right,
for boys.
right.
I've got a bunch of boys that play that at West Shore as well. Now, there isn't any desire from the other schools, so it's probably not going to happen, at least not for a bit.
Right.
I'm glad we've got this.
Oh, this is amazing. And walk me through, and again, during my time as the athletic director, one thing I'm glad because we got 16 schools now. When I went to school, we had 8 or 9.
Yep.
So we passed that mentality where all schools have to have a sport. We're past that. If I want to add it, if somebody wants to add girls weightlifting, so that's a good thing. And one thing we were talking about earlier, and I was talking to Coach Thompson at Mel High, I think we're past a little bit, at least some of us, you included, that they can play a couple sports, we can work. She's got 2 people that run track, and they talk to the coaches, Coach Raymond, the athletic director here. We're going to talk a little bit about the second half, all the opportunities coming up at the collegiate level.
Right.
It's good to see we've got coaches and athletic directors that work together. Hey, if she wants to do this is how we're going to make it happen. Yeah, I'm glad to see it.
For sure. I mean, we had at our first, so we did an interest survey at this in August at our first school.
Okay.
And I said, I ranked all the spring sports that we could potentially have, lacrosse being one of them, which we've had since the first survey. This is the first year we're not, because I had 16 girls put down lacrosse as their #1 interest.
Okay.
Of those 16, 5 also put this as one of their interests. I had 63 girls interested in this. Now they didn't all try out. Tryouts was like 45-ish. And so we've got 2 teams, 2
I think you're
squads.
carrying, if I click 35, you got 17 on JV, 18 on Varsity. So I know there's a deadline. When did you have to let Jeremy Hernandez or Justin, when did you have to let the FHS
So you're supposed to let them know in the spring.
of the previous?
Well, actually, of the previous year. Actually, I think last year they, for some reason, there's something with the legislature or something, they had to push it back into June or July.
Okay.
But we didn't know at that point. And we hadn't even gotten the full balloon from the district at that point.
Gotcha.
They were still
Okay.
talking about coaches' stipends.
So, right.
And then at our first AD meeting in August, Kevin was like, yeah, go ahead, this can be a go. That day I went back, I let him know, hey, we're doing this, and here we are. So
That's awesome. And what really piqued my interest was I saw an article in the Florida Today a few weeks ago about the NCAA looking to add it at the Division 1, 2, and 3 level. And in talking with Jeremy Hernandez, who's FHSCA, the Administrative Athletics over NAI already has it. And I think if I read it correctly, doing the research that us ex-teachers like to do,
right.
there's only like 15 or 20 teams in the NAIA that 5 are in Florida. And
Which is awesome.
And the junior colleges, there's 4 or 5 in Florida. So for these young ladies, and there's only 14 states that have it. So if you got the NCAA, these young ladies, you're on the cusp of possibly paying for college.
Correct. And I think it's a sleeping giant.
Oh yeah,
That's what I think it is. I mean, it's going to be an Olympic sport.
Yes.
In LA. I mean, that's gonna propel us to the next level.
Exactly. That was one thing Jeremy mentioned. It takes about 4 or 5 years for a process to go through, which would put flag football about 2029 or 2030. You got those Olympics in 2028.
Yeah.
I'm thinking there might be a push to come a little earlier.
It could be. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Let me ask you this, if you know this before I let you go as we get ready to start the second half. And Doug and I were talking about, because we were around when lacrosse started, and our girls played lacrosse. And we were blessed that we had girls that came over from other, and then we also had a lot of girls that had never played a sport. Did you have that were there a lot of girls that hadn't even played a sport?
Played any sport?
And this is or most
No,
of them
we have a ton of soccer players out here.
right?
Lacrosse players who,
Okay.
there's probably 10 former lacrosse players.
Oh, because you don't have lacrosse.
We don't have any more.
Okay.
But I mean, that's really awesome. The way the system is now. So our lacrosse players, our West Shore students who are true lacrosse players, we have about 6 of them.
Okay.
And they're at Vieira, I forget, they're at Vieira and maybe Rock, Merritt Island or
Let me
something.
interrupt you, because with the new FHSA, we started the second half, we're going to get to it in a second. they can now stay at West Shore.
Correct.
And play a sport at another
Correct.
school.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I forgot. So
Yep.
again,
So-
so are they playing? Are they allowed to do two? Can they do flag football here and lacrosse over there? Or no, those girls just went to play lacrosse.
They just went to play with
Gotcha,
lacrosse.
gotcha.
I
Okay.
believe they
Okay.
could do both.
If they wanted
Yes.
to. Okay.
Yes, if they
Okay.
wanted to.
So that's great. So you didn't lose students.
No.
You know, in the portal, they stayed at West Shore.
It's really great for the kids.
It
It
is.
gives them every opportunity they
Right.
can without every school having to have a sport when
Right.
certain schools don't have that need for a certain sport or they don't have that desire for it. You know?
And you know, that's a good point because I hadn't really thought of it that way when they first went through all this after I retired. And, you know, kids, who would have thought we'd see the day where you could attend one school and
It's
play
crazy,
in
isn't it?
another? But that's a great point.
Yeah.
You don't have that sport anymore. They really want to play lacrosse.
Yeah.
They don't have to change schools.
Yep.
So that's a really good way to put it. And, you know, that, and hopefully, and I'd like to say yes, that was what the law was intended to do.
Yeah.
You know, was
Is to
something,
give them those opportunities.
something like that.
Well, plus it makes the teams that we do have in our county more competitive.
Yes, exactly.
Because the kids that are really into lacrosse, for instance,
Sure.
they're at Edgewood, they're at Vieira, they're at Cocoa Beach, those places.
Right.
You know, it's gonna be the same here.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully we get some kids that wanna come to West Shore and Melbourne
Play flag
to play
football.
this
Right.
year. you
And
know.
then, and before I wrap it up, so then next year, some of these other teams pop up. These two will be the only two that will be eligible for state series.
I believe,
Do you have to
no,
sit out a year?
you don't have to sit out a year.
Oh,
We're-
okay.
We're both eligible this year.
Okay, I
Yeah.
wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
And it's good to see that the MCOA has taken
They're
this
awesome.
over.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about that earlier. Probably one of the few. You know more than I. Probably one of the few counties that we're blessed to just have one organization
Yes.
to deal with.
Yes.
You know.
And they've been great about it. Dwayne,
Yeah.
who's the head of them.
That's right, Dwayne Summers.
Yes, he's great. He's been
Yeah.
great with it. It's just been a real easy start.
Good, good. Well, that's great. And you know, and talking with Jeremy up at FHSAA, other states are reaching out to him because we've had it for, I think 2003 was
It's
the
been a
first
while
year.
now, yeah.
And so these other states he's actually on the national committee to come up with the rules book.
Yep.
So Florida set the trend, and you know, thanks to you and to Chad over here at Melbourne, you got a couple teams where, again, some opportunities for them to be successful.
Yep.
So we appreciate that. Well, Tony, I appreciate you coming up. Again, we're going to certainly get down to West Shore. We want to do one of your games.
For sure, we got a few Fridays coming up. so-
Yeah, I saw that. If not this Friday, we're doing a little baseball tomorrow. And if not this Friday, next. I appreciate your time. Best of
Yeah.
luck to the
Appreciate
season.
you being out here for
Well,
the sport, for sure.
it's we're excited to be here, and again, it's just once I saw this was happening, I said, you know, Press Box, we don't do a lot, but we certainly want to cover this, and
Yeah.
we look forward to coming to
Much
West Shore
appreciated, for sure.
and covering that.
Yeah.
Thanks again for your
You
time,
got
my
it,
friend.
Bill. Thank
All right,
you.
have a good day. Good luck to you.
Yeah,
All right.
you too.
All righty, thank you. All right, we're going to turn this around. I'm going to get Coach back on here.
Hi, nice meeting you. I'm Tom.
Let me turn this back around, and I may have to. This is something. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to take this one out. And I'm going to All right, so we got about 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Again, West Shore does lead 13-0. They're just putting the ball away. But that was some good information from Tony. Again, 60-some girls said they were interested. 45 kids out. I mean, that's just. I guess they did. Actually, again, looking at the rules, and if you're just joining us and talking with the FHSA, they go by the NIRSA, National Intramural and Recreational Sports Association. And I think you can have a but again, you know, like I said, at least they had, and I'm sure those young ladies that tried out and maybe didn't make it this year. But I got a little razzle-dazzle. This is a keeper. Nice little play on defense. I believe that's number 8 from Mel High. And that is Caden Skeen. Again, if you're just joining me, we're in the third quarter. This is junior varsity. Both schools, West Shore and Melbourne, have junior varsity and varsity. I was talking to Tony just now, the athletic director at West Shore. They got 17 on JV, 18 on varsity. And I think Mel High's got 1, 2, 3, about 12 and 16. So again, 20 on each side. I mean, I'm trying to think when I first started, we might have had 20 girls. We didn't have 45. and like I was talking with Eric earlier, this is a sport, you can't help it, like pickleball is now, that's all ability levels, all age groups. Nice little quarterback keeper. Again, another nice play. That's number 8 from Melbourne. Hayden Skeen, just a 9th grader, second defensive play in a row. But this is a sport, you know, you're not kicking a ball, you're not carrying a stick, that, you know, have a little speed, got hand-eye coordination, you can play this game.
Just like tackle football, you know, you have the big guys on the offensive line, you know, really don't have good hands, but they can block, tackle, and everybody building for a position like you.
Right.
You watch the receiver, you know, Eric over there will be a running back, and I'm going to go as defensive end. And that's all I can play.
So before you came on board, we were talking, he played offensive line like Ethan did, they wore the same number, 64, so kind of a small world. And we noticed earlier that Ethan, before he reported to duty this morning, was watching, and I see Mrs. Maharis is on there watching, so we appreciate that. And again, both of these games will be posted on my YouTube channel, so if people want to watch after, if the girls want to watch the game, the ones that are participating, if they want to download it, certainly feel free to do that. Same name, Press Box Overtime YouTube channel. All right, hand off to Skeen. She just made 2. Oh, nice there. And again, we were just talking, Doug, if we watched that West Shore player, she just stood her ground and kind of let the girl come. See a little bit more of that versus chasing after the flag.
Yeah, that's kind of a different strategy. You know?
Well, like you were talking, you know, and sometimes when I watch this, you know, intramurals or, you know, it's like, God, that seems so easy to grab that flag, but it's really not the way it's blown and they're running and so I don't know. And Eric over here has got experience, says it's not. So it looks like a pretty good strategy just to let the runner come to you.
Well, I think if you get a whole better team, you know, speed, you know, it's going to be a different.
This is a keeper by quarterback Jada Smith, still going. Oh, that's it. And again, if you weren't watching the first half, Jada Smith, last play of the first half, 3 seconds to go. She kept the ball. The horn blew, and I think most of the players on the field thought it was time, not knowing you can still run the play out. And bless her heart, she ran about 56 yards instead of 58 yards, and almost got a touchdown on that last play. So,
3 yard line.
yeah, I think so. Oh, nice little play to number 11. Nice defense. Is that 14 again? Man, I tell you, 10 years. Between her defensive play and the young lady that has scored 2, number 15, both of those. So 14 is a 7th grader, and she's got 1 interception and a handful of pulls. Is that what we're saying, Eric? Pulls. And number 15, Melita, an 8th grader with 2 touchdowns. Man, a couple of young ones that, you know, going to build that team around over the next 4 or 5 years.
Some girls with some good athletic ability out there. You just see how coordinated they are.
Right.
And good speed out there as well.
Yeah, I would Jada on the keeper. You know, and I would think, or you tell me right or wrong, if I'm the soccer coach, I'm happy they're out here. Because I know 5 days a week, they're getting their exercise, they're running, they're staying in shape. So for me, and your kids play multiple sports, you know, they're just staying in shape 10 months out of the year.
That's what you want. Participating in other sports like using different muscle groups and that kind of thing.
Right.
As opposed to just playing the same sport year round.
Going over a couple of rules after this. Jada Smith, that quarterback. Now, what I will say, I liked about that play, she was trying to throw it to him, she was in motion. So, we talked about that earlier, it wasn't just throwing to a spot.
Yeah,
I like that.
Looked like the receiver ran a quick slant.
Yeah.
And the quarterback threw behind her.
That's the end of the third quarter. West Shore with 2 first half touchdowns and a 1 point extra point. leads 13-0, and we were talking about that early, Doug. So the field is 80 yards by 30. 7 players, and all the other 6 can go out. They can run the ball. You'll notice on the field there's 2 markers, and they're only a yard apart. I thought they were going to be farther away than that. The one marker is the line of scrimmage for the offense, and the other marker is where the defense has to line up. But as soon as that ball is snapped, that defense can rush. Back when I elementary schools on Sundays, you usually counted to 3 or something. Some counted fast, some counted slow. So we don't have to count. We just have to line up on a certain spot. And the point after, they can do a point after from the 3-yard line, pass or run. They can go for 2 points from the 10 or 3 points from the 20, but those 2 have to be passing plays. So I like that. Man, I like to see the NFL do that. You know, if you're down by 3 with a couple minutes to go, right, with a little handoff. Oh, a nice little pass. She's wide open. Oh, nice catch by the Melbourne. Oh, what a play. Probably one of the best catches today. That's number 11, Emma Gomez. She had a young lady right on her, pulled that ball down. A little razzle-dazzle, a little handoff, halfback pass. I like that. 10 minutes
Still
to
go
go.
10 yards for the first down.
Still go 10. And what I've seen is a lot of them are just going for it on 4th down versus, punting. But we've seen a few punts. That's what I'm thinking. The Floppers will come in easy. Punt that ball. Get some of those young ladies know how to kick that ball.
Yeah.
All right, so Melbourne on the move. That was a wonderful pass play. Let's see, they are on really the 14-yard line. Jada Smith back to pass. Wide open. Oh, did she catch it? Oh, she
I'm talking about not here.
Yeah, it's interesting strategy that just everybody goes long.
to a spot, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we'll see, like we talked about earlier, even though she threw the ball behind, I think it was number 9, which must be Ava Bravado. She's still watching this in motion. I think as they continue to develop, because trying to hit somebody in the middle of 4 other players might not always be successful. Right? Smith back in the pass, wide open. That time is complete to number 11, Emma Gomez, a sophomore here at Mel High. 8:20 left in the 4th quarter.
I'm just trying to, in my own mind, I'm trying to figure out everybody's strategy, as compared to
Right.
tackle football.
Right.
It's a little different from what I would do as a coach.
Right.
Look at it through a coach's eyes.
Right.
And, yeah, it's a little different.
So I gotta watch the defense. I think, all right, so they got the 2 girls lined up. Let's see if they rush. Yeah, 1 girl rushes. Nice play. I think so, right. Yeah.
So you can only rush one, actually, because you have to go to the quarterback, if that's your man.
Right.
You gotta go after the
You
quarterback.
can't see their hands. They're putting up like their hands and you can't see what number they're
But
on.
I think you can
Actually, it's
strategy.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm like you. I'm thinking on defense. One of the main strategies, if you're going to play man for man, is how many you're going to rush. And we did see earlier when they rushed 2 and she threw an interception. So, let's put them all there. That was a different, that was a different move. They're all lined up, bunch together.
We're on 3rd down now?
I think that was 4th.
It's
a paradigm shift.
It is, yeah, it is. Right, yeah.
But you see, everybody rushes.
Yeah.
Everybody goes
Oh,
downfield
right.
or pass.
Right.
Instead of people staying in so long.
Baseball's not great. Softball's okay.
But I like what you said earlier.
We have 2 JV
That
games.
slant
2
idea,
days.
again, first game for West Shore, second game for Melbourne. I think you're gonna see some of that in rapid places. You can get lost in a group of 10 people in the middle if you just slant across.
Well, everybody's a receiver, everybody's a defensive player.
Here we go, West Shore's got the ball, that's number 15, she's already scored twice today. She's still going. They got her flag. Again, that is number 15.
Some cheating. Somebody's cheating.
That is, and again, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, only an 8th grader, Cecilia Molina. She has, she's put on a show tonight. I mean, these guys, I tell you, a lot of these players from both sides have really done well for first
Boys
game
were going
teams.
there.
Yeah, I think so.
And then JV boys were going
Like I said, they're very organized, they're athletic.
Right.
And JV.
Right? Yeah, exactly,
So,
right.
varsity players.
You know what, it's funny you said that. I still had the mindset we're watching varsity. I forgot, this is just JV. And they're putting on a good run, so, again,
Well, you're gonna be excited to see the.
yeah, just to see the young ladies that, you know.
Good crowd.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up. I'm thinking on the Melbourne side, we might have about 50. And West Shore side, maybe 25. So, you know, 75 to 100 for the first game ever held here. And hopefully after the game, they'll watch the video, especially the girls that played. And like we mentioned, it'll be on our YouTube channel. They can download it if they want to, and just show it to grandma. If grandma wasn't watching today, and hopefully learn from that. But you're right. I had to remind myself because, in my opinion, the play's been pretty darn good. But this is just junior varsity. They're pretty good.
On YouTube and watch
I think we
them draft.
finally figured it out.
The stands are almost. Almost full. You know, it's really small town, Bradford.
Sure. Pretty good record.
Football games going
Yeah.
Bradford, Union County.
Yes.
Gainesville, all those schools up in there. You know, it's really a country town.
Right.
In this area, so.
Right, little pass. Okay, this time the pass is complete. Defense was ready. Nice play. Nice pull right, Eric, by the Melbourne Bulldogs. I'm going to have Eric, I think they're in, screen over to the right a little bit. I just want to make sure everybody sees. So there's three referees there. I believe the way that they have this, they've got 3 referees on the field, and then those 2, again, I think are part of the learning process, and I just wanted the fans to see that again, you and I have talked a great job by the MCOA. They've got 3 on the field, and those Melita were, nice play, and they've got 2 that are probably learning, you know, how to call the game on the sideline. So hats off to the MCOA, again. And that was exactly what the FHSA said, that you can have 2 to 4, but they prefer 3 officials, which we have, and then 4 during the state series.
COA, this is a great organization. They are always willing to help out anywhere they can.
Right.
When I was head football coach in Cocoa, they would come in our spring games.
Oh, right.
You know, inter-squad games and help us out. Just good organization.
Yeah, and did the same thing with the cross. We used to have a pre-game early tournament, just a gathering behind your high school, and it was for the officials as well as for us.
Right.
Because we were all learning, and at the beginning of the game, it was great. We saw the officials go up to both teams, probably just going over the rules, and because again, it's new for everybody. And it's talking, communicating with Steve Buzzy, who's in charge of the MCOA. The only 3 teams that they do are our 2 teams in Indian River County, which I believe is Sebastian River. Dwayne Summers, who you and I both know, he's the commissioner for flag football. So, again, not only has MCOA been around for a long time, a lot of those guys have been around. They know Brevard, they know athletics here, they know our coaches and DBs, and it's a very positive, collaborative. Oh, almost another interception.
Tight knit organization too.
Yeah,
Johnson came down.
Right.
That's what we should do.
Or are we gonna have a tournament?
Yeah, we do, right?
That's what we should do.
Good way to give back to the community, like you've said before on many of our broadcasts, you know, to get involved and
Right.
become an official.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, we're gonna like
You should set it up.
It'll be like,
How you guys wanna do this?
football game, so to speak.
What do you guys think?
All right.
Let's get
Nice,
everybody involved.
Jada Smith back there. Nice little pass up in the air. Oh, no, another interception. And that was number 9. I think we called her name before.
Hey, can I tell you the very first day of tryout, I drove in those 2 minutes.
Oh, that might be 0. So that's Tia Bailey. I'm gonna mark this down here. She's had an interception. Rita Hall has had an interception. I think she's had 2. And then Josiah Molina has 2 touchdowns.
So I guess like as soon as we get
So turnover, that is our
they're
4th turnover. Melbourne also had a interception.
I know, I was going to find out.
West Shore's got
So I'm going to
3.
get this varsity game going.
Little razzle dazzle, she got a keeper. And that was number 25. I think we covered her number. Is that Howard?
It's almost like, that's the
25.
baseball and softball.
Destiny Harding, we called her name. Again, just a ninth grader. A lot of youth out there really making the big plays tonight.
Oh, any coach would be happy about that.
Exactly. Looking ahead. Yes, exactly. And again, we got to keep reminding ourselves, this is junior varsity. They're putting on a pretty darn good show. I mean, nice plays, passing, running, interceptions. We've seen a 58-yard run or 56. It should have been 58, bless their heart. Really exciting play for the 75 to 100 fans here tonight. Oh, this time she did hand it off. Number 15's already got 2 scores on the board. She's still going. They haven't got that flag. Nice pull. Oh, is she okay? She okay?
So first down, that's a clock.
She's got some will.
Man.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, she's not really doing a lot of bobbing and weaving. Those flags are just hard to grab. Again, that's number 15, Miss Molina. And as I mentioned, she is just an 8th grader. 8th grader? Yeah, I know, right? I'm thinking track coach is interested, soccer coach might be interested.
Look out with that NIL money there.
Yeah, exactly. Flag, yeah, the first flag football NIL recipient.
Okay.
All right, West Shore's got the ball down. We have minute 20 left. They lead by 13. Direct snap to number 25, Destiny Harding. She's a freshman.
Right? There you go. There we go. Thank you.
And as we wind down, minute left. You could have told me that this was a varsity game, and I would have still been very impressed. JV, 7th, 8th, 9th graders, 10th graders out here. I'm super impressed with the first time, and yes, Melbourne's had one game, but still, just their second time out there, West Shore. Very impressed with the level of play. Whistle blew.
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited to see Varsity.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, if these young ladies made JV, you're exactly right. And again, they have certainly put on a good show, a good game for the fans here. And the score, thank you for asking, Heather. We haven't got the software yet to put our, but with 43 seconds left, West Shore leads 13-0. They've had 2 touchdowns by number 15 on the Wildcats, Shamsia Molida. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She has scored both touchdowns, but 43 seconds left. West Shore up by 13. So Varsity will follow directly after this game. And we'll talk a little bit about next games coming up for both teams. Little handoff, little razzle-dazzle. Oklahoma Sooners. Got some speed there. Oh, nice play. Number 6 for the Bulldogs. That is Gracie Ostrander. And again, I'm watching, and it looks like they do better when they just, and that's one thing too, if they stand still, it kind of throws the runner off a little bit, because they got to change, and that slows them down. So again, whether they're doing that on purpose or not, it looks good that's a good strategy, just to stand your ground and make the runner try to go around it.
I have to get my flag football book out.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier today. I downloaded it on my iPad. It's like 50 pages. I'm like, okay, I'm going to dabble in a little bit of
strategy.
Yeah, a little bit, right, exactly.
Coaching techniques, et cetera, et cetera.
But that's one thing I didn't look at, and you bring up a good point, is kind of research because that's what we had to do with lacrosse. We were all brand new to lacrosse. We had to ask somebody else, hey, what plays do you run?
I know they used to blow the whistle all the time with the girls. My daughter hated that. She likes
in the, what do you call it, in the sphere or whatever.
I don't want to see the boys play. And like knocking them out. You know, I'm going, what? Come on.
I can tell you, as a county athletic director, boys lacrosse season, I was pretty busy from emails from the FHSAA. That's a football game with a stick. Is what that is.
And the girls, you just barely touch them.
Yeah.
You know,
well, since our girls graduated, they got helmets now. They didn't have helmets back in the day. Of course, they got the goggles.
Well, we were not ready. That was
I don't know. Tell you what I do like to see, though. I did see some penalties. I think I wrote it down. Might be 10 yards, but most are just 5, which, 15 yards, especially an 80-yard field. Come on, that's just, yeah. So I think there's a few with 10, but most of them are 5.
That's too much on 100 yards.
Yeah.
I got a few of those.
Yeah, exactly. Delay of game, illegal sub, illegal procedure, illegal kicking and kick catching interference. Those are 10 yards. And I can see that if somebody's trying to catch the ball and you like a fair catch type thing.
Yeah.
But for the most part, most of the penalties that I saw were just for 5 yards. So again, if you just joined us, 24 seconds left. Junior varsity, first time in history, girls flag football here in Brevard County. West Shore up by 13, thanks for 2 touchdowns by 8th grader Josiah Molina.
History being made by the first
You know what?
time.
That's it's just.
Bill Charis.
I'll be honest with you. If we weren't up here, I'd probably be sitting in the stands because I would have wanted to come and watch this. I really would have. I really would have wanted to be here, and it brings back memories of when lacrosse started. You and I were there. Your daughter played. Our daughter played. I helped coach. 25 on the keeper. Oh, she slowed down. Thought that you got to keep with the whistle. That is number 25, Destiny Harding. 17 seconds.
Well, I can tell you, Bill, being at Selma High School for 22 years, I saw some very competitive powder puff games.
Oh, I bet you did. Oh, yeah. No,
Very competitive.
right. There's
So
no.
this is what it reminds me of.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, those girls were, the juniors. They wanted to be the seniors, and the
Oh,
seniors
sure.
did not
Oh, sure.
want to lose. So there were some competitive games.
So I got to ask Eric again. Our good friend Eric Beckham just came from overseas. He was stationed with my son Ethan. He's here to help us out. Did you coach in the powder puff games?
In the powder puff games?
puff.
Oh no coaching, just all players from none of them.
I think Ethan. Oh, you know what?
I was a cheerleader at powder puff.
I hate to say, if anybody's got a yearbook from the 70s, that's me in the brunette wig.
I had a blonde wig.
I forgot about that. That we, yeah. Football players coach, tennis players
Yeah.
are cheerleaders. That was me. All right, 11 seconds to go. Again, West Shore up by 13. Jada Smith, maybe a couple more plays left. We know she ended the first half with a 56-yard run. Got stopped about the 2-yard line. You never know. Ball up in the air. Nope.
Oops, I fell asleep.
And that's another thing I got to look at too. Like, can she run up to the line of scrimmage and throw that ball and just, kind of see?
Yeah, I would think. You
But,
can, as long as you don't go over the
right.
line.
But again, first game out of the way, for West Shore, second game for Melbourne, and again, just can't emphasize enough how impressed I am watching them play. And could be the last play of the game. 6 seconds left. Quarterback Jada Smith back for the Melbourne JV team, playing against West Shore. Hit the ground. Still got 2 seconds left. One more play. This is where on a Sunday behind Cambridge Elementary School, we just call everybody go long.
Yep.
I think that's where they got the saying "draw it up in the sand," because that's pretty much what we did. We drew it up in the sand.
Yeah, it got rough too.
It did. No pads, no, just mono and mono. All right, last play of the game. 2 seconds left. Quarterback Smith. Almost intercepted.
About 10.
And that's the end of the game. What a great showing by both teams as West Shore takes the 13-0 victory based on 2 touchdown runs by number 15, 8th grader, Josiah Molina. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But, Doug, what do you take away from watching your first girls flag football game here?
I was a little bit apprehensive about it, but I really enjoyed watching it. It was really cool. It's really cool to see it. And, seeing the sportsmanship now.
Right.
Shaking hands.
Right.
But it was really exciting. It was fun to watch.
And just the level of play. Again, until the fourth quarter, when you said JV, I'm thinking we're watching varsity. I mean, the passes, we had, just a couple accolades. We had Melbourne had an interception. Quarterback Jada Smith, she had a 56-yard run, a couple of nice plays, a 20-yard pass play. Tegan Bailey from West Shore had an interception. Mia Paulin had 2 interceptions. Young lady we mentioned earlier, Miss Lolita, had 2 touchdowns. Really some good play on both sides of the ball that just really impressed me. And again, at the JV level.
Yeah, I mean, there's some great athletes out there. And we spoke about it earlier that, these girls, they may not play soccer, they may not play basketball,
Right.
but they're playing football. They're given, they got an opportunity to play a sport that maybe they didn't want to play any other sport.
Exactly.
And they're able to be a team member
Right.
and learn all of the neat things about teamwork,
Right.
being on a team and discipline and everything else.
Right.
I think that's the coolest part.
Right.
I mean, that's what I love about lacrosse and other
Right.
sports that kids could play.
Right.
That wouldn't have played, otherwise. But I think that's really cool. I think he's going to catch on in Brevard
Oh,
County.
yeah.
I know, like you said, it's big up north,
Right.
North Florida.
Right.
I think it's going to catch on. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I think, we had Tony Riopel here, AD at West Shore, that kind of was in the movement to start this. And like he said, I think 65 girls that were interested when he did a little questionnaire. 45 came out, and they've still got 35 on there. So, again, right now in Brevard County, it's just Melbourne and West Shore. But he talked about maybe 4 or 5 teams coming up. And again, whether they watch, the press box overtime tonight, or they watch it on YouTube, or they're out here in the stands, or they're talking to these young ladies on social media, how does that buzz not get started?
Well, I think it's going to get started. And, with you starting press box overtime, you give us a lot of information that we can't get anywhere else. We used to have Florida Today's sports, but you don't see much of that anymore in the newspaper. But you give us so much on press box overtime. If you're not a member, get signed up, get on press box overtime. Local sports, college, and NFL, whatever, pro sports, you get stuff out there, and I appreciate that. But I think you're going to see this is going to catch on fire.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
Look at the crowd. You got a great crowd here now. You get the students involved. Get them out here. It's going to be like a Friday night football game.
Right.
Regular football.
Yeah, they got.
Give them some time. It's going to
They got
catch
fun.
on.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what. This flag football catches on, which I think you and Mike agree it will. Those powder puff games are going to be tough because they got experience now. We're not just getting a couple. Hey, y'all want to? Yeah, I'll play. No. We're getting flag football players.
I see where Danny Burke came out of retirement. He's I may have to come out of retirement and coach this.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background. We got about 6 minutes left. For Melbourne, again, they had their first game last week. They dropped the game to Harmony. And just like when lacrosse started, most of their games are going to be away. Because again, they're the new teams, and you're going to have to travel. That's just the way it is. But their next game is tomorrow for Mel High at St. Cloud, and then this Friday at West Shore. So that will be West Shore's first home game. But again, 3 games in 1 week, that's pretty good.
Now, they're going to be playing teams that are already established, that have been playing for years.
Yeah, so that, and kind of like lacrosse did. If you look at their schedule, Sebastian River, Harmony, St. Cloud, Vero Beach, a lot of teams from Indian River and Central Orlando. But again, like lacrosse, we started with a couple of teams. By year 6 or 7, we had 2 districts. So I think that's going to happen here. I did count for Melbourne 16 players that between JV and Varsity. Out of 16 players, they got 2 9th graders, a 10th grader, and 6 juniors. So again, kind of like when you coach football, you got some leadership up there that's going to be seniors next year, and you got some youth coming up that I think will help. And I talked about Coach Myra Thompson at Mel High. Nice enough to talk to me on her planning period yesterday as I was trying to gather some information. So she played flag football down in South Florida, both at Weston and Cypress Bay High Schools. Played UCF intramurals, and actually, and you and I know this, I kid about the University of Florida, one of our favorite teams. They won the ice hockey intramurals national championship 2 years ago. So it might be intramurals, but they take it serious.
Oh, yeah.
And in talking to Coach Thompson, they went on to regionals from UCF, played teams like FSU. So she has a background as a player. This is her first year here at Melbourne. She was at Southwest for
You told
6
me that
years.
flag football's been around a long time for girls.
So it's been around since at least the late 90s, because when I lived in South Florida, those girls were playing it. 2003 was the first year that the FHSA had a state championship. So they've had the championship since '03. Before that, I like lacrosse, it was a club sport.
It's been around a while, but Brevard County just hadn't.
Just now popping up there.
A little bit of history, I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
no. She said she had a lot of girls come out from soccer and basketball. And again, we talked about this earlier, and you've had five kids that play multiple sports. You know, back in the day, you know, worried about, well, if we start another sport like lacrosse did, you know, we're going to pull from other teams, etc. But again, talking to the two athletic directors, Coach Raymond and Coach Leopold, and the two coaches, they work well with these other teams. Melbourne's got two young ladies that actually run track. And they run long distance, I believe, and talking with Coach Thompson, practice in the morning, practice in the afternoon with flag football. So, you know, it's great because years ago that mindset wasn't always there. It was like, well, you know, we bring on the sport, we're going to, but we've got a mindset now that it's about the kids. And I'm not saying it wasn't about the kids before, but they figured out how to make it work.
Yeah.
And to where these young ladies not only play another sport, some of them play a competing sport. So some of these girls that might run track, they're still running track. And that's great to see that.
That's good.
And talking with Kevin Robinson, County Athletic Director, again, gave me half an hour of his time the other day. NFL is pushing this big. He's been to a couple of conferences, I think FACA and some of those around the state. They've had people come in talking about flag football. Nike has been pushing this. Most of the surrounding counties have it. There is not a supplement this year, but I believe it's in the works. As you and I know, that's a negotiated element with the unions in the district, and that should be on board next year. So again, hats off to these two teams. There's no supplements, just like there wasn't for lacrosse for a while, but they're doing what they love to do. And why not? You know, we're doing it for these.
Hats off to the coaches.
Exactly.
Volunteering their time.
And again, talking with Kevin Robinson, you know, middle schools, talking about sports, they added soccer and volleyball this year. And there is a supplement for 2 intramural sport supplements at the elementary level. And they now have some intramural sports where they stay after school and play, including flag football. So we're putting pressure on the middle school. We got it in elementary, got it in high school. So that's just a couple of things that Brevard County is doing. Let me flip over here, West Shore. Again, we talked to Athletic Director Tony Reedapool. 65 were interested, 45 tried out. They have actually a little bit better schedule. They've got 5 away games, 4 home. Again, their first home game will be this Friday against Mel High. And either this Friday or next Friday, 2 retired guys figuring out our schedules. We certainly want to do a game there at West Shore. And looking at them, when I looked at their JV and their varsity roster, 43% are 7th and 8th grade. So almost half of the girls playing at West Shore, 7th and 8th grade. You want to talk about building for the future? That's pretty amazing. So that's just a little bit about Melbourne and West Shore. We've got about a minute left. You know, the only other thing I want to bring up real quick, we don't have time later, and what caught my eye is the NCAA is looking to add this, both Division 1, 2, and 3 as a sport.
Wow.
Only 14 states have it as a high school sport. And Florida's had it for one of the longest. So I'm thinking, you know what, when this comes to fruition, just like in tackle football, what state are you going to go to look for flag football?
Right.
When I talked to Jeremy Hernandez up at the FHSAA, I kind of mentioned it's also an opportunity for coaches. And he rattled off 3 or 4 coaches at the high school level that have already left because NAIA started flag football in 2020. And 5 of the 15, Eric, I think, right?
Ladies and
15
gentlemen,
schools. I
ladies
think.
and Bulldog fans,
5
tonight
of
we
15
celebrate a
schools
monumental
here
moment in
for
Melbourne High School's
NAIA.
history. Welcome to the inaugural season of the Lady Bulldogs flag football team.
Like Division 1, 2, and 3. And there's
We
even
cannot
some,
make this dream a reality without the incredible support
even
of
some
our
junior
sports
colleges.
champion this new opportunity for our
We're
athletes.
familiar with these.
To our dedicated athletic
NAIA
directors,
schools,
your
Florida
leadership
Memorial,
has been instrumental in launching this program.
Weber and
And of
Warner
course, to our
all
phenomenal
have
head coach,
like,
Robert Harrison,
yeah,
thank you for
exactly.
your passion, dedication,
And they
and hard
also,
work in shaping this team.
JC,
A special shout out to our generous business sponsors. Your support has made this season possible.
So,
And we are
again,
beyond grateful for
it
your
is
investment in our student
collegiate level
athletes.
here in Florida.
At this
With
time,
only
we'd like to
four-
rise
with
and
only
give your hats
14
for playing the
states
national
having it,
anthem.
Florida's on the lead for the national anthem real quick. See what others have got. I am going to. Just have you hold
All
on.
right, now let's make some noise for your Varsity Lady Bulldogs as they take the field
I'm
for
going
the
to plug
first
my
time
good
in
friend
over
Eric
history.
in real quick
Let's
here
bring
and
the
just helping
energy
us
and
out.
excitement of Bulldog spirit. Let's go Bulldogs!
This time around. I'm going to flip this around real quick. I don't want the glare to blind you all, put my hat back on. Eric Beckham just moved here from overseas, was stationed with my son at the Air Force Base overseas, Master Sergeant. Appreciate you helping us out.
Absolutely, no
You said
problem.
you played flag football intramurals.
Yes.
Some might look at this and go, flag football, not that competitive. What was it like in the Air Force during intramurals?
Let me tell you, that is the least from being true. When you don't have the guts to go out there and get hit by someone that's twice your weight,
Right.
flag football is definitely the way to go.
Right.
Really competitive, a lot of fun, and seeing these girls out here playing right now is just bringing back a lot of memories. So they definitely got a lot of energy, and it's good to see.
And you played tackle football in high school. And Coach Cook was talking about this earlier as we watched this, and we're going to flip it over real quick as the varsity game has just started. Did you have to change anything in your mindset as far as back off and not put a pancake on somebody?
Yeah.
Did you have to stop or?
Absolutely, that's one of the hardest things to do is to stop yourself from being aggressive.
Right.
You're gonna get a flag pulled on you to put your hands on somebody in the flag.
Right.
And that's hard to do when you got someone coming at you. But you eventually turn your mind
Sure.
over a little bit.
Sure.
But yeah, either way, the competitive nature and it still comes out in you whether you're able to hit somebody or not.
And I know real quick, and we're going to flip the game on. The Air Force, I know they have some competitive, did they have something like at your base? Would you play other bases, or was it at that level, or was it just an inter-base competition?
That's a real question. So we had both.
Okay.
For some of the teams that were a little bit more larger, for some of the more popular sports like football, basketball,
Okay.
stuff like that, you can play against other bases. But we also had to where we can play locally at the
Just
installations
do
as
it
well.
that way.
So,
Okay. All right, great. Well, we're going to turn it back. I wanted to get him on the screen real quick in case some of his buddies are watching or my son. We've got Varsity Flag Football. Bring that up there. I'm going to plug in.
Glare, may want to
Oh, let's see. Yep.
see if we can.
Is that a little better?
Yeah, maybe bring it over here. Maybe.
Yeah, whatever. Let me get my rosters here.
There we
High
go.
school,
Yeah, that's
high school. So West Shore got the ball first. Again, if you're just joining us, West Shore won the JV contest, and as Coach Cook and I were talking about, You really would have thought we're watching. Oh, we got a little double pass action here. Oh, through a couple of hands. That was number 22. Let me see. West Shore. 22, Violet Castillo. Again, that's another example, Coach, we're talking about. We're not just handing the ball off and throw. They've got some pretty good trick plays that they've kind of pulled out of their. You're good. That they pulled out of their hat, so to speak. And I don't know if I was expecting to see a lot of that tonight.
Yeah, like I said, very well organized, very well coached.
Quarterback for West Shore. Pass complete to 99. Let's see. That is 21 at quarterback Leah Bygrave. 99 Kalani Luther. And like you say, a little pressure on the varsity because JV played a pretty good game earlier. One thing I do see different, size a little bit.
Size and a little quicker.
Little speed, right, which would be expected as those other young ladies work their way up to the varsity level. Direct snap to the quarterback. Play and run. Nice play by Melbourne. Nice defensive play. That is number 3. Janessa Palmer. She's a junior. Nice defensive. What do we call that? A pull?
Another pull.
No tackle. You got to call it a pull for Melbourne. Again, Melbourne has had a game already. They played Harmony last week. This is West Shore's first game, and they'll be combating again this Friday at West Shore when Melbourne ventures a few miles up the road and plays a away game at West Shore. Quarterback Leah Bygrave, little handoff. Oh, nice play. I believe that's Miss Palmer, number 3.
Number 3 is going to be tough.
I tell you what, she's like number 14 at West Shore, running the opposite direction, right? Man, she had no trouble pulling those flags. Again, if you're just joining us, you'll see the 2 cones, I guess for lack of a better word. The bright colored red or pink one where the football is the line of scrimmage. That other white cone, the defense has to line up behind that cone, but just as you see right there, number 99, as soon as that ball is hiked, they can rush. That was Kalani Luther doing that. So, as Doug and I were talking about in the old days, we used to have to count to 3, or Doug might count a bit faster than I counted when I was on defense. But right now, as long as you're behind that cone, when that ball is snapped, you can rush. Oh, nice catch by our flag is off. Nice catch by number 2, Elena Neal, just a freshman. How many times we talk about that at JV? A lot of young ladies out here picking up the sport. I want you to watch, because you're better at it than me, the defense, just to kind of see what the differences are. I've noticed they've got the 2 interior girls that just kind of stay in their place versus the JV, they were all following. So again, a little bit different tactic. See how they're lined up. And that's interesting to see versus the JV. Maybe a little zone, maybe? Yeah. They got 2 rushing in.
2 rushers.
Oh, almost got her. Oh, nice run. She's still going. That's number 5 from Melbourne. That's Cecilia Northern. She's just a sophomore.
West Shore rushed, but they rushed 2 girls, but they lost containment. The girl got outside. You got to keep containment. Unfortunately, she got outside and got a big game.
You coach football. I just watched. Maybe spread them out the next time when they rushed, because they were both right there pretty close. And once she got by one, she got by the other. But again, you're right. We're seeing a little bit different strategy in the varsity game. Nice pass from number 6. Pass is complete to number 15. That's Ansley Friday to Riley Dwyer.
Yeah, West Shore mixing on the defense up a little bit, running a little man.
Yeah.
And rush 2. Mix it up a little bit.
And we mentioned earlier, Coach Thompson for Melbourne played at the high school level in South Florida, as well as intramurals at UCF. So she comes with experience, and this is just her first year here teaching at Mel High. All right, pass a little bit high. Oh, nice little shuttle pass, little handoff. How about that? Number 4 with the ball. Flags are still on. And let's see. Touchdown, Melbourne Bulldogs. Number 4, Chloe Young, a junior. We said it earlier in the first game. Melbourne High School, first score, Varsity Flag Football here in Brevard County goes to Chloe Young at the 5:20 mark in the first quarter.
Scoring teams, that's the
Can't be changed.
1-3-2
You could do better, but you can't overtake first. We saw it live. That's exactly right.
A little razzle dazzle.
How about that? A pass completion, not the Statue of Liberty. What do you?
A little flea flick.
Yeah, a little flea flicker. Then she pitched it out to somebody. I like that. All right, so we are going for 2 points. Yep. 10-yard line. So this is a 2-point conversion. Pass complete, and she's in. Yes. Yes, 2-point completion is in. How about that? So again, reminding viewers, if you're new, you can go for 1 point after at the 3-yard line. You can pass or run. You can go for a 2-point after 10 yards out, or a 3-point after 20 yards out, and both of those have to be pass plays. All right, so let's see. What did they? Yeah, I'm kind of curious.
Oh, there was a penalty?
Oh, okay, called it back. All right, so they're going just for the 1
Now
point.
we're going for one?
Yeah, going for the 1
Okay,
point from the
okay,
3-yard
okay.
line.
Got it.
So that was called back. So now from the 3, and she can run it on this one. She's going to go to the corner. Oh, nice stop by West Shore. I believe that's number 99, Kalani Luther.
That was my mistake. So touchdown for the Bulldogs, 1 point conversion. That's no
Yeah.
good.
All right, so Mel High first on the board for Varsity Flag Football here in Brevard County. Again, seeing a little bit of nuance, a little bit of differences as far as the formations than we saw in JV.
You gotta see the size of the numbers.
A little quicker too, a little more spontaneous.
Sure.
I guess. A little more complicated defense and offense.
And Melbourne, if I'm looking, I think that's Miss Palmer right there on the line. She's getting ready to go in. There she is. She's had some good defensive plays already.
That's the gym one.
Pass complete. Pass complete to number 42, Sophia Ribeiro. She's just an 8th grader. So again, as we're looking at the varsity roster for West Shore, 1 7th grader, 5 8th graders, and then they have 6 12th graders. So a good balance between 5 middle school kids or 6 and 6 12th graders. So again, leadership.
No juniors.
Yeah, they got a few of each, but those were the 2 that I looked at. All right, another pass play complete to number 22. Oh, nice play by number 16. That's Tyrona Williams. She's a senior. And that was a pass play completed to Violet Castillo. That's got to be exciting for these seniors before they graduate, got to play one different sport. Even though I'm sure it's kind of sad that it's just 1 year, still how exciting, hey, I get to play flag football before I leave.
You know, the high school experience is such a neat thing.
Number 22 for West Shore, again, Violet Castillo. She's a junior. Castillo on the carry. I think one thing coaches are probably going to remind the girls of, keep going until that whistle. And some of them I see slow down because they think the flag's off and it's not.
Go to the whistle.
I don't care if you run to Palm Bay,
Right.
you hear the whistle blow. And again, that's just going to take some getting used to. Oh, nice little punt play there. Oh, nice catch. How about that? That's number 18. Mel High, is that 18?
Number 21.
That is a.
Yeah,
So maybe that's Miss
18
Williams.
ran it.
Tyrona Williams. Okay, we put 18 in there. Hey, that was a nice catch. You know, we were talking about a little bit, again, you can see a little bit, as you would expect with any sport, a little bit higher. That's why they're on varsity. A little bit skill set a little higher. Again, though, JV game was exciting to watch, and you can see a little bit of the differences. Little fake handoff. Now pass right back out several times. Kalani Luther. She seems to be their defensive threat, just like Miss Palmer is from Mel High. Oh,
20%.
okay. Let's see. Nope. This one here. Yep. And then this one over here. Yeah, I'm glad you saw that little battery. Luckily, I know I brought Eric around for some reason. There we go. Should be good. Oh, nice defensive play.
Direct snap to the running back.
That was 13.
That's the tackle
Stefania Raffaelli. And that's the end of the first quarter. And let me get my here.
Yeah, that was a direct snap to number 4. She looked like she wanted to throw the ball as well.
At the end of the first quarter,
Really would not have expected
West Shore
this many, I don't want to say trick plays, but this many formations in Melbourne second game and West Shore game. I'm very impressed. We got some coaches on the sidelines that, where if I was coaching, I would just say 6 go out and turn around. But like we saw the flea flicker play, I'm impressed with that.
Yeah, they've got some design plays that are working. They're working for them.
So yeah, I think, and again, you know what? The young ladies, they're responding
Each
too.
team has 4 downs to reach the 20-yard mark. Every drive starts on the 14-yard line.
I like what athletic director Chad Raymond is doing. I remember the first year when we had lacrosse, I was the announcer.
Also
And
have
the same thing,
running
rules,
rules,
all of us. And I think the first night that I announced, it was a doubleheader of boys and girls. So I had to kind of remind the fans, a little different play. And again, he's doing a great job. Because again, it's new to all of us. Like I mentioned earlier, Jeremy Hernandez up at the FHSAA, he is on a national board to come up with a national high school girls rule book. Because like you mentioned, Doug, they've been around since the 90s. It's been an FHSA sport since 2003. So we're one of the leaders of the 14 school states that have it. Oh, she's looking to go long. What a heave. Number 2 is wide open, and she catches it. Touchdown. What a play. Melbourne Bulldogs. Touchdown. Second quarter. Wow, that was from number 6, Ansley Friday, to number 2, Elena Neal. 40 yards, I think. My goodness. I saw her pumping that thing back, and I'm like, she's going to let it go. And number 2 was sitting back there behind the defense.
The quarterback is Nardone.
Was that 5? Or is that? Okay. So that was quarterback
Cecilia Nardone.
Cecilia Nardone. I'm going to say that was probably, gosh, that was probably 48 yards. Oh, going for the extra point. She's looking at the corner. Oh, just stopped just short.
Short of 2 yard line.
Try to go good. So it's about 11 minutes less than a quarter. Bulldogs 12, West Shore 0.
So again, the 10:48 mark, it's 12-0, Mel High over West Shore after a 40-yard pass from Cecilia Nardone to Elena Neal. Yeah, I can't believe I just saw a
Great
40-yard pass.
pass. The defensive back, the letter behind her.
Yeah.
You can't let the
Right.
receiver behind her. So she'll learn though.
Got a little quick pass out there. Got the flag. There's Miss Palmer again. She is the defensive player. Janessa, she's a junior.
They're gonna have to figure some way
Something out for her.
to stop Palmer.
Exactly. She is.
She's playing like a nose guard.
Well, I was getting ready to say, Coach, they got her right there in the middle. That's where you want her at, so
Right.
she can scatter to
She's
either
quick.
side.
She can go
Yep.
either side.
Yep. I mean, look at that. And she is the first player I have seen tonight. She lines up right on that little bubble where the defense can go. She is right there. We got a punt coming up from West Shore. Oh no, maybe that wasn't pass play or fake. No, and is that who else? Miss Palmer coming all the way from the middle.
That will be third down.
If they were getting NIL money, I bet she would be getting the most.
Listen, I tell you, there's quite a few girls already, both on offense and defense. I think on West Shore we've called number 99, Kalani Luther, a couple of times. We've called Janessa Palmer more times than I call my grandkids
Oh, yeah.
during the week. And again, between a touchdown run by Chloe Young and a 40-yard pass from Nordone to Neal. 21 on the carry. She's carried it a couple of times. Leah Bygrave. 18, Tyrona Williams. Again, if you're just joining us, West Shore won the JV match 13-0, and right now with 8:48 left in the first half, Melbourne is up 12-0. You know what I like too? I'm watching the little things. They're rushing out there on the field. You know, I mean, that's, my goodness, that is so great. Here they come. Look here, she's still running, number 4. She scored the first touchdown, Chloe Young. And as a coach, that's what you look at too. It's just how they're coming on and off the field. You know,
It's
it's
hard
not,
to be a disciplined team.
exactly.
Walking on the football field, I may be very angry.
Were they carrying water the next time?
Yeah, they were sitting on the bench.
You're right.
If you're walking on the field, you never.
Eric, you ever walk out on the field or no?
No, I wasn't,
Okay.
wasn't allowed to.
Okay, making sure, just making sure. Our good friend Eric is from Oklahoma. We know they play a little football out there.
Yeah,
little
just
bit.
like the
Play a little
Sooners back in
football.
the day,
But I think somebody you're close to is more of a, no, she's a Sooner.
Yeah,
Right?
she,
That's right, she's a Sooner.
she's a Sooner girl.
Okay, I knew one of the, I couldn't remember Cowboy or Sooner.
Oh yeah, we don't rep the Cowboys over there.
No orange, you
Nope,
can't wear orange
none
of
of
any
that.
color.
Get banned from the
was that a
family.
Rough season this year.
Yeah, Coach,
What happened?
Barry Switzer, that's what I'm talking
Barry
about.
Switzer, yeah,
Barry
back
won
when,
the national
oh yeah.
championship.
And then he won a Super Bowl, right?
People in the
You know,
Bulldogs.
Dallas, did they win one? I think they did. His first year, maybe? I can't remember. All right, so West Shore with the ball, West Shore in the light colors. And there's Palmer rushing in there.
Nice little
Oh,
play.
nice little, got rid of it just in time. Pass complete to number 22, Violet Castillo.
Oh, that's
Castillo.
awesome.
Well, again, if you watch Miss Palmer, she's the first one I've seen tonight. You see the referee from the MCOA putting down those 2 cones. She lines up right where that cone is. When I was watching the JV game, they were a couple yards back. She's like, I'm not giving you anything.
Yes,
If this is, and you watch, when that ball snapped, she's off.
takes advantage of it.
I'm gonna tell you what's good about having a player like this. You don't need to rush 2. You just rush 1.
Not with her.
Yeah, she takes a lot of pressure off the rest of the defense. Unless you're running some kind of a special formation, she's all you need. Man.
Definitely got a passion for the game. You can tell.
And 6:43 left. Again, we talked about it earlier, MCOA. They cover our 2 teams as well as Sebastian River. They've got 3 officials on the field working the game, which is what FHSA likes to see, and 2 others that I'm going to assume are training. And you and I talked about that football. They would do something at the beginning of the year. And hats off to them, knowing this is a new sport, probably to those guys. Because I don't think when I reached out to Steve Muzzy, I don't think they were working any games in other counties. And I tell you what else is good. It's good that we got officials that want to do this.
Right.
You know, that maybe maybe they do football in the fall, and this is something they want to do. So it also gives them a great opportunity to, you know, stay in the game, earn some extra money, and
Absolutely.
we're very appreciative of that.
Yeah, they're a great organization for sure.
All right, correct snap to 21, pass to 23.
That's charging.
And let's see, that was 18. That was Miss Williams on the stop. 23, that was Madison Susie on the catch. And again, you know, they caught the ball, 8th grader. Like I said, they've got, in varsity, they've got
Does that,
18 total, and 6 of the 18, 33% are 7th and 8th grade. It's,
quite a future.
man, it sure is. And a coach who played both in high school and in the girls. Again, nice try by number 4, Chloe Young. When the ball does hit the ground, it's a dead ball.
The ball hits the ground and it's dead.
Yeah, I like that hustle by the punt return team.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you could just, again, Melbourne has a game under their belt, but you can just feel how excited they are to be out there. I mean, they're in front of the fans. You know, it's just, I'm so happy for them.
Under the lights.
Under the lights. Now, I like what number 5 did there. That was Cecilia Nardone. She did not stop until that whistle blew. So again, we're seeing some differences, whether it's just, you know, the age. She's a sophomore. But again, based on what we saw today in the JV game, those young ladies are going to be ready to play varsity next year too. Oh, here's another long pass. I think a little bit too out of her reach, but my goodness, that young lady has an arm. She's just a sophomore.
Yeah, nice. She's got a nice touch to her, a nice smile, tight.
I want to see her one day at the bowl games of Dr. Pepper, throwing it in for 50 grand or whatever. I'm gonna put my money on that young lady. I mean, you can tell too. She rears back. She knows where she's going. And they'll hook it up. They'll sync up. You know, it'll take a little bit of time. And she's back again, across the field. Oh, number 34 for West Shore, Gabby Reynolds, 9th grader. She had it in her hands. That might have been open field if she would have caught it. Again, 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Varsity Flag Football for the first time in Brevard County. Hometown Bulldogs lead 12-0. JV earlier, West Shore took that one 13-0. Again, crowd probably 70, 80 here tonight. Great night for football. Oh, nice. They rushed 2. Nice play. Nice call on defense.
Oh, they did a good job that time.
Sure did.
They didn't
were
lose
wide.
containment.
No, they did a great job.
Tackle on play, there'll be a turnover on downs.
I think that was Gabby Reynolds, number 34. No, and you know what that tells me is that in between, those coaches are seeing kind of what we're seeing, but they're the experts, and saying, hey, next time you go in, go wide. Or, they're picking it up pretty good.
Making an adjustment.
Yeah, exactly. .22 on the carry, Violet Castillo.
Wasn't that Emmett Smith?
Emmett Smith. I think he played at Florida. Did he?
He did.
I think he did.
Dallas
Listen,
Cowboys.
I saw him not too long ago, probably Super Bowl weekend. I think he could put some pads on. My goodness.
Still in good shape.
Holy mackerel. Had a little gray there. Needs to do a commercial for Gray for Men, but other than that, he was, I think you're right. All right, got a snap to number 21. There's Miss Palmer. My goodness. Again, I don't know how stats work. And again, if we're calling them pulls, but if FHSA is keeping pull stats, that young lady's going to be on that chart.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Look at it. She is right up there to that cone. She's like, I'm going to give every inch you're giving me, and when that ball's hiked, I'm in. You almost got to keep somebody back to whatever you call it, blocker or run interference. I mean, you really have to. Okay. Oh! All right, there's a backup, number 9. That's Ava Bravada. But did you see what Palmer did? She was on the right side, put somebody in front of her, she went to the left side. I mean, she's got some football sense. Yes, she does.
She knows the game.
Minute 58 left.
Yeah, if they don't find out some way to stop her, it's going to be a long night.
But she's smart because, again, I don't know, I guess they have procedure like tackle football. She shifted over, that girl couldn't move. So you almost need to have one on each side, and then the side that she's not on, that person goes out. But if you don't put a stop on it, and again, even like that play, she did not get the flag, she disrupts the play.
Yeah. If you can have 2 running backs in the backfield, I would definitely do that.
I would too, and then whoever doesn't have her, they go out for a pass. But like right now, nobody's on
You're
her.
going to have to give the quarterback some time.
Cross a little tough play. That was, let's see, number 1.
So it's a 4th down.
Number 1, Valeria Colon Almost came away with the interception.
Very similar to Mahomes in the Super Bowl. He didn't have time. Didn't have time to do anything. So you got to get some blocking. You got some blocking out there to give the quarterback time to work.
Especially this early in the, not just the season, but for these teams. Yeah, you put a little pressure. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, she's still running though. She's gonna get her. Oh, she's still going. Number 21. Oh man, quarterback touchdown saving. That was 21, Leah Bygrave. I believe that was Ansley Friday.
First down for the Wildcats.
So that's number 6 or 5.
Number 3 was way back there in the play.
She was.
She's around.
I say
She's got a good nose for the ball.
that was a touchdown saving pull by Melbourne. So they got a first down. Ball is on the 10-18. Because again, remember, 80-yard field, not 100. So the end zone starts at the 10. Again, that was all Palmer. She just forced the girl to end up falling down. That was a dead play. I think Eric was blocking. I don't know if Palmer could get in. We need 64. I saw Eric just went down to the truck to get his jersey. I had to stop him. Or he was getting an ice cream sandwich, Coach. What did he-
Yeah,
one of the other.
it was a sandwich. Yeah.
You can't beat those.
No. All right, got a little pass play going. Let's see. Nice play by Melbourne. Little tip drill there. 21, Leah Bygrave. She's a senior. 6 seniors on the varsity team for West Shore. Again, we said, that's got to be exciting for them. They're probably so happy that it came this year, you know.
And the opportunity.
Had the opportunity to play. Miss Palmer lining it up. So I'm watching the, whatever you want to call it, running back for West Shore. Now I think Eric said it earlier during the pregame, and you mentioned it too. I think they can just kind of get in their way. I don't see their arms up. I just see them kind of, I think that's about all you can do as far as defense.
Yeah, that's what I remember in PE, we could put our elbows up.
Oh, yeah. Look at there.
I don't know if you can't hear it.
Pass complete to number 23,
I haven't seen it.
Madison Susie, but again, Palmer's in there.
That'll be a turnover on down.
The only thing I can see West Shore doing with the way that number 3, Janessa Palmer is rushing, you're not going to get any big plays because you're not going to have time.
What they're going to have to do is like run a middle screen. You know, she's rushing so fast.
Somebody right behind her maybe and coming across, or
Just send everybody deep except for your running back and put your running back over
After she
behind,
comes in,
run
yeah.
behind number 3, just throw it there. Try to get something out of that because
she's
Palmer
not
is just
gonna-
way too fast.
quarterback is interception by West Shore, number 18 going back the other way, heading north. She's still got the flags on. Touchdown, West Shore, number 18. Taylor Hermes, just a 9th grader.
Wow, pick 6.
Pick 6.
How things can change so quickly. That was nice coverage there. And it was
Sure
great
was.
interception.
Just a 9th grader. Again, for the record books, first pick 6 in the history of varsity girls flag football. And again, getting back to the skill set, it's not just what she did after, but they're catching the ball a little bit more, not a lot of drops. So again, what we're going to see from these JV girls. 21 going after the point after, and it's good. That's Leah Bygrave. So at the 106 mark left in the first half,
West Shore 7.
the lead is cut to 5, 12-7. Again, if you just joined us, you can go for 1 point, 2 point, or 3 point after. I kind of like that. I'd love to see the NFL.
Yeah,
You know, it just makes it more interesting. If somebody's down by 9, now you could tie it.
Yep.
But like they do here, push them back to the 15. You know,
Yep.
make them go for it.
I like to
Why
watch.
not?
I like to see the NFL throw something, do something besides a quick out.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, you hate to
It's
see
kinda
3
boring.
minutes left in the game and you're like, oh, you can't catch them. Give them an opportunity to catch them. All right, Mel High back with the ball. That's Nordone at quarterback. She's probably the best passer we've seen all night. And pass complete to number 14, Carly Allen. She's a junior.
That was a nice throw and catch right there.
It was. I have to say,
I'm really impressed with the quarterback for him.
yeah, she's
Great arm and very smart.
Timeout.
She didn't go to her primary receiver because she was covered, and she went to her secondary
Right.
receiver. So
That was a first down, so it shouldn't have been
smart.
running.
You know what is interesting? I'm just thinking off the top of my head, somebody like you that used to coach. Somebody like that, either, I'm thinking, a dad that used to play, big brothers that she plays
Probably,
with.
yeah.
I mean, you know, our daughters were great athletes. Unless my son worked with my daughter, she didn't, you know. I mean, so I'm just thinking maybe there's a family of football players.
You know, kids in elementary or middle school, girls are just as athletic and as strong as boys.
Right,
You know,
right.
I remember when my son played Little League, we had a girl on the beach that
Right.
she was the best Little League player
Right.
in Satellite Beach.
Right.
And then she was a softball player, but she was better than the boys in pitch.
Right.
So then you get to the high school level, then it's a
And
little
it
different. But,
spaces out a little bit,
Yeah.
but up to
But
about
you
12
know-
or 13 years old, yeah.
but these
No.
girls have probably been playing football with their brothers or whatever
wonder.
in the yard.
Right.
You know, so they
Right.
have the skills.
Right.
They have a skill set, so they've been playing.
I don't know if the Eric Beckham flag football tutorial on ESPN they've been watching maybe. But,
Maybe.
all right, so we're down to 50 seconds left. West Shore's cut that lead in half. Oh, bad balls
Nice
down.
snap.
Yeah.
Quarterback's there.
And that's the tough thing with flag football. You can't recover. Over your head, hits the ground, that's it. Dead ball. So that's another thing to get used to as well.
Yeah, I think for safety reasons you have to have that.
Yeah, you do. I mean,
14 people jumping on the ball.
Right,
and
yeah.
No protection.
yeah, exactly. So that she's rearing back. Oh no! Now that's the difference because we know that quarterback Nardone from Melbourne has the ability to throw it 40 yards. You can't give her that much time.
Right.
I'm thinking if after a couple seconds you got to rush somebody because she's going to throw it 40 yards.
Oh, yeah. Well, West Shore needs to get up on the ball
Like Palmer does.
Palmer, they're
Right.
off the ball.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Palmer's
saying.
right up.
Right there. She's getting
on
it.
the,
So,
on the mark there. You
Right.
gotta put some pressure on this quarterback.
let's see what they do with those two interior defenders. Okay, they're both going in.
Pressure. Good pressure.
Well, pass complete to number 11.
Well, when you do that pressure, somebody's going to be open.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So you're
Two
gonna
people are gonna be
right.
out there.
Yeah. You're gonna kind of flip the coin there. But you said it earlier, Coach. They're the adjustment. They're a little bit wider when they rush. They're going around that blocker, so you can see the adjustments being made in this game tonight.
Timeout, West Shore.
Timeout West Shore, 7 seconds left. Melbourne leads 12-7. We've had a 40-yard pass on the Melbourne side. We've had a pick six on the West Shore side. We're seeing about as much as we would see in a tackle football game.
Oh, yeah. Seeing some good strategy. You know, well thought out strategy.
I want to give a shout out. I'm looking on the screen here. I've got Coach Sadowski, athletic director at Hoover Middle School. I appreciate her watching tonight.
Hoover Hawks.
Hoover Hawks, that's
I
right.
was there back in the old
She's
days.
a wonderful PE teacher, athletic director that I reached out many times when I was the county AD for her input and just ideas. And we've got some great PE teachers around the county. She's one of them that we do more than just shoot baskets at PE. We're teaching them sports, athletics, and it's great to
Skills.
see. Yep, great to see.
D. Gianelli was my principal. That was back in the 90s.
Oh,
90,
Oh, nice kick. My goodness gracious.
Wow, good
So is
kick.
that pick still? Okay, so it's wherever the ball bounced. Okay, I wasn't sure how that worked. And is that the quarterback? That is. That's Nardone. I'm telling you. I got a
I think a 40-yard.
40-yard punt, 40-yard pass,
It'll be
and 2 seconds left. So this will be interesting. West Shore's got 2 seconds, one play. I don't see them taking a knee here, Coach. I think they're gonna draw it up in the sand. Let's see. Well, let's see, Melbourne. I like that formation. Look at that. They got Palmer on the line, of course. 4 and 2. I like the way that defense is. She's not going to have time to throw that ball. Look at this. She's running. There's Palmer. It's another pull. Man.
We were playing semi football and definitely picked Palmer
I
first.
know, right?
Should be on my team.
You're going to pick a defender first. You're not going to. Right. I agree.
Should be
Oh,
on
my
my team.
goodness. All right, that's at the half. And oh, no, we still have. Oh, that's right. Got 12 to 7. Bulldogs up over West Shore. A 5-minute half. What is your take? We watched the JV game. We watched the half of varsity. What are you kind of seeing that's a little different, Coach?
I see it a little, like you said, the skill level is a little different.
Right.
A little quicker game
Right.
as well. And they're just developed. Their skill level's developed a lot more than the JV. But so impressed with JV and the varsity so far.
Yeah.
Really fun to watch.
Yeah.
It really is.
And that's not a knock on JV. That's just an expectation. Our kids play JV, as far as and as you progress physically, as far as your size and speed, a little different, more play calling. We've seen this Palmer there on defense. We've seen nothing like that tonight. On offense for Melbourne, quarterback Nordone, 40-yard touchdown pass. First INT, pick 6, Tana Bergreen, number 18 for the Wildcats. So again, just really plays that I don't know if I expected to see tonight.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's very well organized, and the girls are doing a good job. You know what I'm really seeing out there, Bill? Girls are having fun.
Yes.
They're really having fun.
Yeah. You can see that. If there was any jitters, they were gone after the first minute. You commented about it, and Eric said the same thing. They're running on to get into formation. They're running off. It's and it really. I'm excited for these teams. These young ladies had the opportunity their last year of high school to play flag football versus, I wish they had that career.
Like I said, this is going to catch on. This is going to catch on. The kids are going to see this. And I hope they go to press box over down the watch and say, we need to cover our athletic director. We need to give this flag football at our school.
And again, hats off to the 2 coaches. The district does not have a supplement this year, but you and I taught. You taught longer than I did. Neither one of us woke up and looked on a chart and said, "Oh, more money." I'm going to go teach. You do it because you love it. And these 2 coaches are proving it. Like, listen, that's all right. These girls want it. We want to be coached and do it. And they are.
Coach, you know, the labor club, you don't go for your money. Not in Florida
They
anyway.
didn't lose their social security that much yet. No.
I was making 3 cents an hour. We figured it out.
A couple.
But I had a teacher's
You had a plan B.
and a part-time job.
A couple of things. We talked about this earlier. If you're just joining us. I did talk to Jeremy Hernandez at the FHSAA. He's the administrator over flag football. I lived out of South Florida in the 90s, and I know they had flag football in the high schools. In 2003, it was the first time the FHSAA had a championship, but it was a club sport before that. Here's another thing, Coach, I didn't mention. You talk about the growth. A couple of years ago, they had 200 schools in the state that played girls flag football. This year, 390 with another 52 playing as independent. 442. So again, here in Brevard, we just don't see that. 442 schools in Florida. So much that this year is the first year. All the years past, 2003 until now, it's been 1A and 2A. This year, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. So now we've got enough teams that there's going to be 4 state champions. So you talk about the growth. It took 20 years to get here, and now, 4A. We talked about Melbourne and West Shore being the ones. NAIA already has it as a sport. Jeremy, we mentioned, is on the National Rules Committee. I was looking up rules. Coach Raymond, the AD here at Mount High, I didn't know which rules to use. Last year, the champions were 1A champ was Robinson over Pembroke Pines. Pines started 21-6. This is what's interesting. 2A champ was Palmetto over Leonard, 26-25. And the two semi games were 7-0 and 12-6. So there's a lot of, sometimes in tackle football we don't see it when it gets to that level. And talking about opportunity, NAIA has had girls flag football since 2020. There's only 15 schools that play it. 4 of them are in Florida. Florida Memorial, St. Thomas, Weber, Warner, where your son went to. NCAA, one of the fastest growing, just like you said. Looking to add it in D1, D2, and D3. Probably take about 4 years. But what we talked about earlier, 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles, girls flag football. I'm thinking the NCAA may add it a year earlier. I mean, to piggyback on that. Junior college, NJCAA has it. And here in the state, Florida Gateway, Pasco, Hernando. And last but not least, when it hits the collegiate level, only 14 states right now have it. 16 states have it as a pilot, with Florida being one of the first ones. Oh, there's that flea flicker again. Nice little complete pass. That was flipped back to number 7, I believe. And that's Maya Dicey. She's a senior.
She's got some good wheels.
I tell you what,
She runs hard. Really runs hard.
no offense, I've watched some varsity tackle football games that I didn't see this much razzle dazzle. So, you know, again, I like that they've already taught these young ladies some of these plays. Back to pass Nordone, pass incomplete. Young lady's got an arm and a foot. She's already thrown it 40 yards tonight for a touchdown play. I think she's kicked it about 35, 40 yards. And again, we want to give hats off to the two coaches, Coach Myra Thompson of Bell High and Coach Jenny Pazdurak. Assistant coach for Wildcats, Corey Burton. And I don't think I mentioned it earlier, they actually have a JV coaching staff, Austin Pleasant. So again, pass complete to number 11. She's still going. Nobody's got those flags yet. She's got nothing but open field. That's a touchdown, Melbourne Bulldogs.
Touchdown, Bulldogs.
We talked about that earlier. Do you think that flag is easy to grab? It's not. She just kept her head down and kept going.
That was a great run.
Wow.
Illustrator 11?
Yeah, but I don't have 11.
Haley Ostrander, I can tell by the way.
Okay,
by her
so
body.
that is
Short
Haley, so
body.
that's number 11.
Haley Ostrander.
Haley Ostrander scored a touchdown. Coach, like we were talking, she's a senior. That had to be exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Her senior year, scored a touchdown in flag football.
Great run.
Man, that was a great run. Oh, going for 2?
1.
1, okay. Wow, and it's complete. I tell you.
1 point conversion is good.
If I was a new high school and you gave me 2 picks, I'm taking Nordone on offense and Palmer on defense. You can have the next 10 picks. If I start with those 2 really
9.5 minutes left.
shiny
Third
stars
quarter,
on the
Bulldogs are up
other side.
19-7.
So at the 9-minute mark of the third quarter, Mel High now up 19-7. And again, I tell you what I liked about that run by Haley is she just put her head down and ran straight. She didn't move. She didn't.
Nothing fancy.
Nobody made her move. She didn't get out of anybody's way.
No fancy
And
moves or anything, just straight down the field.
and
Like 50 yards.
yeah, I think so. All right, West Shore back on offense now. They've already scored 1. Let's see. Pass play complete to number 12. I believe that is Miss Williams, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, Miss Williams in on the tackle. We've called her name several times.
This is a lot tougher than to move the ball than tackle because you really can't block.
Right.
You
No,
know,
right.
So it's a tough game. It's hard to move the ball.
You see how she's centering the ball a little bit different. You can get on the side. There's Palmer. Oh, there's Williams. That's a combo. Again, those are the plays that don't make the stat books, but Palmer, she disrupted that whole thing.
Sure did.
And then Williams, boy, last couple plays, she's also been a force on defense. But Palmer created that turmoil.
But she's in the backfield
Pretty much every time, right? All right, so there she's lined up right there on that cone, number 3. Again, it's about a 1 yard difference. But as soon as that ball snap, defense can go. Let's see what she does this time. Follow the ball around. Nice kick. Oh, it dropped. Oh, she caught it. Nice catch. Number 42 for West Shore, Sophia Rivero. Just an 8th grader playing varsity.
Oh, really?
She is. I wasn't sure if she brought it down or not, but good for her.
Yeah, nice kid.
It's just an 8th grader, too. I think I mentioned even on Melbourne's varsity squad, out of 16 players, 3 of them are either 9th or 10th grade. So again, they've got some young players too. Here's Palmer. Pass complete to 22. Running backwards. Tell if there was a flag.
No, that's the quarterback's flag.
Okay.
Palmer almost got to her.
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
she was
second
the
down.
ref. I couldn't figure out if they called the play dead or not.
Maybe they did. Yeah, they did.
What do they call sack? Maybe.
Oh, okay, because Palmer would have been going after that girl, but she wasn't. All right, playing quarterback for West Shore. 21. Here, it is picked. And who else?
Interception.
Nordone.
Bulldogs. That's
Is that Nordone?
no,
No?
that's
So 8.
that's
Orcutt?
yes, Aubrey
8.
Orcutt.
Aubrey Orcutt, number 8. On the interception.
Got a quarterback for West Shore kind of threw that up for grabs.
Yeah, a little bit. Little more arc than you want.
Looks like one of my passes.
I'm trying to read these jersey numbers. I gotta have my wife call that commercial with the owl, 2 for 1. I think I need to get. Yeah, I think I need to do a new prescription. I can't pull the senior card because I can still get new glasses. Yeah, nice play by Aubrey Orcutt. Nice play. Nice interception. Mel High on the move. Again, at 5:27 in the third quarter, they lead 19-7. Ooh, nice. We're down back in. Standing up there. Even it up. Oh, what a catch by number 2. Elena Neal.
Big time catch. First
What-
down.
What's
Bulldogs.
up, Randy? You got Moss. That's a You Got Moss right there on ESPN, folks. I'm just telling you. Number 2, Elena Neal. She's already scored a touchdown tonight. I did not think she was going to get that, but
That was great.
she pulled a rap. You got Moss. I'm sorry to say. That's Elena Neal. I got to call ESPN. I got to send that clip in. I'll give Coach Raymond the credit if it gets put on there.
Send it in.
Man, that was. I got to cut and pay. That was great. All right, Nordone again, back in the pass. Oh, a little short. Pass intended for number 14, Carly Allen.
Please second down.
Man, we've seen some good plays tonight. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to say I wasn't expecting it, but I wasn't expecting it. I was some good play, but I mean just some great play.
I'd like to see Palmer on offense, see what she can do.
You know, I'm telling you, she's just like send her long. Really, let Nordone just throw it up there. All right, looking for the end zone. Oh, intercepted. That's number 99, Kalani Luther. She's played a great game. We've called her name several times on the interception. Just couldn't quite get it over her. Kalani. Hey, Kalani's an 8th grader. And we've called her name several times tonight. Wow. Man, back to back. Great
I'm
plays.
still playing with Tonka toys.
To 8th grade. Man. I think I had the Hot Wheels set, right? You just, you know, you got it over the chair and the track and all that.
To get home and play.
Oh, nice pass up in the air.
Oh.
And she dropped it. Oh my goodness. Man.
Incomplete.
I'm gonna tell you, Coach, I'm at least 3 times, maybe 4 times older than some of these. I don't think I can cover them. I really don't.
Your
I
age,
don't.
no.
I don't think I could cover
You
them.
better stay with
I
God.
couldn't cover Palmer. I couldn't cover Kalani Luther. No way.
Better both stay with God.
Man, I think so. All right, up in the air, 42 again. Too many green shirts there.
Nice play on defense on the third down.
Yeah, my grandson, he's like 4. He can outrun me. I can't keep over.
I think next few games we're going to see more, you know, still throwing a lot in the middle. It's just, even though we've seen some great plays, it's tough when you got 5 around you.
Yeah.
All right, 21 on the run, trying to turn the corner. Palmer after her. Oh, that's a nice play. That is, that's number 8 or 9.
Great defensive play on the fourth down.
That might have been number 9, Ava Pravada. She's a junior. Nice play.
Did you say Mel High has already played one game?
They played against Harmony, got beat last week, but, you know, like we mentioned, except for these 2 teams, everybody else is seasoned. And just like when we started lacrosse, and you're going to play teams that got years under their belt, but that's where you start.
Mel High's going to win some games.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Mel High up 19-7. And again, that's what's going to be exciting next year. Coach Riopel said there might be about 4 teams added. So then, at least for part of the season, you're playing some other teams that are new, and you don't have to keep going out of county.
Who's on number 2?
Nordell,
Yeah,
she's back to
immediately.
pass,
Yeah.
2 rushing. She's tucked the ball in. Oh, nice play. That is number 34 for the Wildcats.
Nobody
Gabby
covered.
Reynolds. Just a ninth
Nobody
grader.
covered.
Again, almost a
Make sure I
third
wasn't
of their
seeing
varsity
things.
team is 7th
Not
and 8th
seeing
grade.
things.
So a lot of promise on the Wildcat side. Looking at the
Nice play
Melbourne.
on the second down.
They've got 3, 4 seniors, 6 juniors, 10th grader, 2 ninth graders. And I'm going to expect with these 6 seniors, there's going to be some really good JV players moving up next year from Mel High.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, don't. She's looking.
Just throw it in.
All right, good play. Oh, careful.
Yeah, there we go.
Careful.
There we go. Full action now. Get the pads out.
Small game on the play on the third down.
I think you gotta rush somebody on her. You can't give her that long, especially somebody that can throw it 40 yards.
No, somebody's got to rush.
Just get the first down. No one over. Oh, no.
I see what
No one's
I
on
was
number 2 on top.
talking to
No one's on
Coach
number 2 on
Thompson.
top.
She actually has a little arm.
Right now. Yep.
Little
Yep.
slant.
Yep.
See?
Slant, yep.
Oh, careful. Oh, okay, good play.
Short. Fourth down.
Quick,
I like that. No,
Short
don't
game,
actually
yeah,
notice
yeah,
the, whatever you call that.
quick slant would have been like good for that slot.
Playbook on your arm. Yeah. All right, that's the end of the third quarter. After 3, first varsity girls flag football to be played here in Brevard County. And at the end of 3, Mel High
That's it.
leads West Shore
The Bulldogs are up
19-7.
19-7 over West Shore Wildcats.
Again, if you weren't watching earlier, West Shore JV took on the JV match. They were up 13-0. See Kara Langley's watching. Thanks for watching, Kara. I worked with Ryan Langley my first 2 years at Creel Elementary School.
Real elementary.
And it's pretty quick. That wasn't my calling. Miss Ewart,
It's yours.
bless her heart, she gave a 42-year-old guy his first start. Thank
I
goodness.
coached her daughter.
Is that right?
Yeah, at Hoover. In basketball.
Listen, she did a great job. She, that school was a day school. I forgot how many years in a row. And, yeah, that was
Kit, what's her name? kid.
Okay, all right.
Baseball player.
All right, starting the fourth quarter. Again, fans, in case I forget later, let me
Tell
see
Coach.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For West Shore, their next game is this Friday.
It's an easy
Their
first.
first home game
16
against the
yards.
same Bulldogs of Melbourne. So West Shore fans, their next game is this Friday at home against Melbourne. And for Mel High, they actually have a game tomorrow at St. Cloud, and then they are at West Shore on Friday. So Melbourne, 2 more games this week. West Shore, 1 more game. I think they
First
both
down,
have 9 or 10 games on their schedule. The state championships are played May 8th to May 10th. I believe they're going to be back at Mandarin up in Jacksonville. That's where they've been the past couple of years.
It is right.
And like I mentioned last quarter ago, this because of 442 teams in the state of Florida, they're going from 2 classifications to 4. Nice pass up in the air, and that's another interception. That's number 8, Aubrey Orcutt. I think that's her second.
I believe that's number 2 interception tonight.
Wow. I tell you what, both teams just stars across the board. Man, West Shore, we got an interception, pick 6. Melbourne, we got a young lady with 2 interceptions, a quarterback with a 40-yard pass play. 3 different players have scored. Big on defense on both sides, from number 99, Kalani Luther, to Miss Palmer and Miss Williams on Melbourne.
No, was there number 2 up
Just some
top?
great play.
No,
All right.
number 2 up top. They're too high. They can't do that.
Ball's back. There we go. Nice
Ooh.
pass. That was a nice pass. I mean, even though
It's
it's
so
a little
far
bit
off the
short,
line.
she reared back. I'd like to see her get a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, she's so far back. It's
Yeah,
like 10,
you know,
5, 10
get
yards
those 10
back.
yards back.
Yeah, if they're not rushing, why not?
No. So, as a football coach, you got a quarterback with a really good arm. Do you keep players back to cover receivers because they're such a good passer, or do you put pressure on them?
You can do either one, but I usually put pressure
There's
on.
Kalani. Now she's tucking it down and running. Cutting across. Oh, nice play. Number 18.
Nice tackle play.
Great quarterback, you can't get on time before the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I mean, you got to sacrifice somebody maybe being open. But I'm like you, with that arm,
Well, you gotta watch game film, you gotta
Right.
figure out who they're gonna throw to, who
Right.
they're not gonna throw to, then you can set maybe 2, gamble a little bit.
right. Well,
Oh.
direct pass to number 4. Oh, there she is again. Kalani Luther. She's a defensive stalwart for West Shore. That was a direct snap to number 4, Chloe Young, who already has a touchdown. Actually, first touchdown, varsity girls flag football in Brevard history back in the first quarter. Like you said, Coach, records are may be broken. Only one first.
That's right.
That won't ever change.
Names on the wall for that.
That I'll have to call my buddy Mark Moses. That might be a high school trivia question on one of his radio shows one day. Oh, nice rush.
Flick it
Yeah,
back.
covered.
She's a lateral there. She was,
Yeah, I wasn't sure, Eric, if she was looking at lateral.
it looked like she was
Yeah,
walking to
I
for a
wasn't,
second.
because number 4 was there.
Timing was off.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a little bit past her. But,
She could have.
Coach, they rushed that time, sped her up a little bit. And like Coach Raymond said, I think they were setting up for that flea flicker game. They just didn't have time. So I think you're going to have to get in there. All right, ball turned over on downs. Oh, nice pass. Oh! Is that Nardone again? No, that would have been number 3 for Orcutt. All right, don't throw towards number 8.
Working on the center, center, tonight. Second down.
They got a new quarterback. I think that was 22. I think that was Violet Castillo Jr. back at quarterback. She had a nice little spiral on that
Sure
ball,
did.
Coach. I like that.
Pretty tight.
Got to get a little bit more zip on that. That was Leah Bygrave, again a senior. We've said this several times. It's great to see these young ladies as seniors get this opportunity to play at this level. I tell you, you and I watch all sports. You know, some of these teams that have been around for years in the state, I'd love to go watch the Final Four. I mean, I can imagine the run that must be like. So we can see a lot of girls out here getting to watch.
It'd be fun to watch the state final.
Man, I bet you those are. I mean, I'm looking at that, what I say, that game in the 2A, 26-25. What an exciting game that must have been. Palmetto over Leonard.
You've got, when you get to the state final, you got D1 players.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
D1 players that are going off to a D1 school.
Right.
So,
Back to pass complete. Miss Williams there.
First down,
Take it with number 16, Tyrona Williams, and number 3, Janessa Palmer. You have those two in there, I tell you what, you better have a quick release.
great athletes for sure.
If I'm back there at quarterback, I'm having a quick release. Those young ladies, they know how to play. And again, whether they come from football families, but you said it earlier, Coach, they have a good feel for the game.
Yeah, good sense of the game.
Up in the air, nice spiral. Oh, nice defensive play. Number 2 was there. Neal was looking for her second touchdown of the night.
Second down.
I'm like you, Eric. I think if she steps up 5 or 6 yards,
She's got the space.
and those girls don't stop running, and they continue to run and she throws, I think that's going to be there all night.
Yep.
Or I think like Doug said earlier, get rid of it quicker so they don't have to stop and wait, you know? Oh, there's, is that Young? Yep. Chloe Young, direct snap.
You said she's a
Nice
pro.
game there.
Young is a junior. Trying to think, sophomore is the quarterback, Nardone. You know, again, I want to recognize Coach Pazdurak for West Shore and Coach Thompson for Melbourne. They've really coached these young ladies well with the plays that we're seeing, with the skill set.
Look short. There it is.
There it is, right over the middle. Pass complete. Stopped by number 7.
First down.
Polomar. That's number 11, Haley Ostrander. But I got to give them credit. I mean, this is Mel High's second game, West Shore's first. They're a lot more polished than I expected, and that's hats off to the coaches that they understand the plays. You said it at the beginning of the game. They're excited to be out there, and I'm just
They're having fun.
impressed. They're having fun, exactly. And I'm very impressed with that. Nardone back, even it up in the end zone.
Oh!
No! Okay, wait a second. We might have another. You got Moss. That is a touchdown. Senior Riley Dwyer. Oh my goodness.
Great throw and catch again. Right
Wow.
there in the end zone.
Nice. And it's not just the play, it's that, listen, there's a lot of young ladies at this age that can't catch a football. They're catching in tough situations. Who was that other touchdown catch by? Was that Neal?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freshman, right?
Or was it Haley? Which one was the Moss? Or was it
Neal.
Neal, yeah. I guess Dwyer just did not want her to be outdone.
Oh, throw it. She's open.
Is she in?
She
She did get in.
got it.
Jeez.
Good.
Number 8 on the carry.
Yeah, is that the touch? At the 3-minute mark in the game, 26-7, Mel High.
So if the score stays the same in 2 minutes, the ball game's over.
That's what
Mercy rule.
and that's what I saw in the what he said. I think NIRSA said 19-point lead at or after fourth
At the
minute.
2 minute mark is a mercy rule.
That's what I read. Well, we'll see what those guys they call that.
That's a good thing.
I know, yes, so I don't want to, right. Jeremy might say this is what they go by, but I don't want to, but that's what the NIRSA said, so We'll just see. Back to pass for West. Shore. Oh, nice catch. What a nice catch. Wow.
First down, midfield.
Number 6 for West Shore, Daniela Jimenez.
Nice
Just
ball.
like you said, Coach, she was behind 3. Doesn't matter how many are on you. If they're in front of you, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Wow, that was a great
Yeah,
catch.
great catch.
West Shore's not ready. You're not done. What we got?
Should be ball game.
So, okay, so is that what he called?
We're at the 2-minute mark remaining in the second half.
Oh, no, they just stopped because of.
That should be ball game.
Well, let's see.
That should be ball game.
Let's see what he says. Yeah, I
I
think so.
believe that's the ball game.
Again, we're all getting used to the rules and talking to the FHSAA. They use the National Intramural and Recreational Sports Association. And according to that rule book, if you're up by 19 or more at the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter, the game is over. And Melbourne is up by 19, 26-7.
Can't wait to make this sport a big thing here in Brevard County.
Yes, sir. Well, again, hats off to both teams. Like we were discussing, that is the mercy rule in the NIRSA, 19 or more point lead at the 2-minute warning of the fourth quarter. And at 2 minutes, Melbourne is up by 19, 26-7. If you joined us late, West Shore took the JV contest 13-0. I'm going to flip this around here real quick. First of all, I want to thank Eric for helping us out with the camera. It takes a lot of pressure off us, senior citizens.
Yeah, it's great to have Eric on board. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Thank you
don't-
for your service.
Yes, sir,
It's only on the
exactly.
payroll, we're good to go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Listen, I'm going to give you exactly what we get. How that you're going to be the same level that
I'm
we're
cool
at.
with that. Make it even. 33% across the board.
Historic night, Coach.
Oh,
First
yeah.
time we've had
Exciting.
girls flag football in Brevard County. What are some of your takeaways?
Well, I'm just excited to be back with you on air. We haven't done this in
Been a while, yeah,
So,
no.
I was very impressed with that, and I think this is going to grow. I think you're going to see. I mean, we had a good crowd tonight. I think you're going to see more and more people get involved,
Right.
especially the student bodies.
Right.
I think other teams in Brevard County, other schools have got to
Right.
get a team together after they see this, after they go to press box overtime and watch it. It's really neat.
It is.
It's beyond my expectations.
You know what? And you said it, and we talked about it earlier. You know, you reminded me in the first game that was JV, and I was like, wow, you're right, because I thought we were watching some varsity girls. A lot of good players in that JV match. Again, West Shore won 13-0. But, and like every sport, step up in skill.
Right.
Players a little bigger, a little faster. You know, just like when we all played. You know, as you know, 9th grade, 12th grade, a big difference. You know, again, we had Miss Bergreen of West Shore, first ever pick 6 interception, first one in history. Elena Neal, Chloe Young, the first touchdown scored in Brevard County history, and just a lot of players. Palmer on defense, Williams on defense for Melbourne, Kalani Luther, an 8th grader, a standout on defense. So it topped my expectations.
Well, you know, Bill, Brevard County is known for athletics. You know,
Yes.
soccer, and
Right.
lacrosse, football.
Right,
We have great athletes
Yes.
in Brevard County. So expect
right.
this to explode and be a dominant sport for Brevard County in the future.
I
Because of
agree.
the great athletes we have here.
Well, and we're kind of go back to lacrosse. You know, we had good athletes, really good athletes at Satellite, and we could turn into a really good lacrosse team because they started with that. And again, I got to give hats off to Coach. Let me just make sure I get it right. Thompson for Melbourne and Pazdurak for West Shore. No supplements this year. Coach Thompson played at high school and UCF intramurals. I didn't get a chance to talk to Miss Pazdurak about her background, but you could just see excitement They were happy. They were having a good time.
Oh, they had
These
fun.
seniors that were able to, the plays that we saw, the trick plays, the defense. I mean, they came to play. They did. It wasn't sandlocked.
No,
This was
it wasn't
organized girls flag football. And again, we got to give hats off to Chad Raymond, the AD here at Melbourne. Thanks for having us here tonight. Tony Riopel, the AD, we talked to him at halftime. He was kind of one of the big ones behind it. 45 girls came out for tryouts. To see these athletic directors and coaches work with other coaches, because some of them are running track, but they made it happen. NCAA is coming out. We've got great athletes. We've got athletes that can play at the collegiate level when that comes, for real, in the NAIA. But it was great to watch. Probably 75, 80 people in the stands. It's exciting. Like I say, whether it's this week or next, we're going to get to West Shore and do one of their home games. Haven't been to West Shore before. Hadn't been to Melbourne before, so we're checking some boxes off on the press box. Tomorrow night, we're going to be up at Titusville. Our good friend, Coach Hansen, the Terriers will be hosting my alma mater. Coach used to work and coach at Cocoa High School. A good friend of ours, Chris Bonanno, the new head coach up there. So we're going to be up there tomorrow. It's Teacher Appreciation Night. They always treat us well when we go to Titusville. So we're looking forward to that. But again, historic night, Melbourne High School, first ever girls flag football, varsity level. You saw it here on the press box. We try to do what we can. We're not the biggest, but we enjoy it. We have fun. Hopefully it was something you enjoyed watching. For anybody that's listening or watches later, I'll post this tonight or tomorrow. I got to see what's on Netflix tonight, but I'll at least get it on there tomorrow. On my YouTube channel, Pressbox Overtime, and that way you can watch it. The girls that played tonight can watch it. You can download it, keep it for yourself, whatever. But on behalf of Coach Doug Cook, our friend Master Sergeant Eric Beckham, I'm Bill Maharis. We're Pressbox Overtime. Thanks for watching. Tune in tomorrow night, 6:45, varsity baseball, Titusville hosting Cocoa. We hope to see you there. From us, have a great night. Safe travels home. We'll see you again. Remember, sports, it's more than just a game. Good night.